Hello everybody! Welcome back to another ProGuides live lesson. I'm Zirene, I'll be talking to you guys today, and I'll be trying to teach you a thing or two about roaming. So, without further ado, let's jump into this. This is going to be in North America. Hello everybody, good morning if you are on the West Coast, good afternoon if you are on the East Coast, and good evening if you are in Europe. So, today we're mostly going to be talking about roaming, and that's what we're going to be emphasizing here today. And once again, we're going to be doing a platinum game followed by a diamond game. So, we're going to be doing at least 2 games here today, and if we do have time later, we could even do a silver and gold game at the end of the day, once everybody's kind of seen what it looks like to do in platinum as well as in diamond. Now, when I talk about platinum and diamond, this is probably some of my favorite, kind of my favorite elo to talk about, because I feel like the differences between platinum and diamond are actually much larger than between silver and gold, or gold, even gold and bronze and gold and iron, I would say. It's when you get into really kind of the nitty-gritty of people are making decisions. Now you have to kind of weigh why they're making decisions. And that doesn't really happen too much in platinum. It kind of turns on in diamond, diamond plus, and that's really where I feel is the big divide between good decision making and actually making decisions, as well as bad decision making or not making decisions. So, the way we're going to start this off is we're going to start with a platinum game. So, if you are in North America and you are in platinum, please put your IGN in the chat if you would like to play. And yes, I do actually watch chat, Firelord98. Hello. When is the mid lane live class? So, I think mid lane live class, I'll end up doing it if I have to, but at the same time, if we get people who are, you know, because we've had Mike Young here before doing jungle classes and all of that, when we get a guest that is a mid lane main, then that's probably the best thing. Let's see. When is EU West? Next week. How many inches is your nose? Never measured. Chris Joshua 121. All right, guys. If you are platinum and you are in North America and you want to play, put your IGN in the chat, please. That was plat 4 and now gold 2 in the course of 2 days. Can I just join? I was in games play. I mean, if I feel like you are a if I feel like you are somebody when I look at your account that you are a platinum player, then yes, I'll let you, like, more than happy to invite you. Like, this guy is gold 1, but he was platinum, and he definitely feels like a platinum player when I look at his stuff. This guy was platinum as well, platinum 2. And I think it's okay to do a platinum game that has some people who are gold in it, or at least high gold. No cane, no gain. Okay. Mocha Mook. A little too low. Any D4, can I join? New account. So the issue with doing a the issue with having people play cross region is 1, ping, 2. The other issue is that let's see. The other issue is that we'll run into a problem where you can't do your runes, and you might not have flash because of the level of the account. You'll probably have like ghost and heal. Luxury. You were platinum in season 8, but you haven't played. You plat 1. Okay. What is it? Is this really messed up or something? Let me check. Why does it say your summoner is not found? Luxury. Okay, go to summoner profile. Says you're unranked, but you did play solo queue before. 400 and oh wow, you haven't played in a year and a half. Does J4QE activate sudden impact? Yes, but it's usually better to take cheap shot on him because of his W slow. So you can guarantee like true damage. Cheap shot is typically better on Jarvan. The only reason you would get lethality is if you were going some type of burst build. That's the only reason I would say that. Let's see. Lutais. Lutic. In North America. Cool. Okay, yep. Lutais. Oh. Lutais. There we go. How beginner friendly is Cho'Gath? He's decently beginner friendly, I would say. It's a little harder for him to aim things because he has half-second cast times instead of quarter-second cast times. So he's a little different than other champions, but he is a champion that you kind of have to be a little more. I would say not passive, but okay. This guy was platinum. You have to kind of waver in between passive and aggressive. You taking volunteers? This is platinum players. Did I invite you? I did invite you, right? Yeah, I got you, Mickoff. I got you already. You're already invited. You can see it down here. There you go. Cow le buttered. Let's check you. Cow le buttered. Oof, a little low, but you were season 9 plat. How much have you played? You played 10 games. You were season 9 plat. You haven't played much this season, but you've played 10 games and you're still climbing, but you were season 9 plat 3. I feel like that's fine. I feel like that's okay. All right, yeah. You gotta do the cow le buttered. I gotta type it in by hand instead of copy paste. I go hammer. Let's check you. Cool. Laz beats. Cool. Another one. We have is Ledouche here? Ledouche v Britannia. You might miss it. Have you accepted Ledouche? Empo. I'm gonna put you down for the next game. Cool. I mean Empo 2? Oh wait. Is there a difference? Why is there an Empo and an Empo 2? And one of them's diamond, the other one's plat. Wait, are you a Kha'Zix like one trick that is in high diamond, and then when you play an account that you're just like, I'm not playing Kha'Zix, you're like in platinum? Is that what it is? Because that's what happens. But I'm just saying, because I'm looking at these again. Is down for next game? Oh, is he? Le douche. Next game, he's a little too low for next game. So either he comes to this one or no. We'll get Empo in the next game. Because if he's the Empo guy, he's got the diamond account, and that's fine. Because we're doing another at least another game, maybe 2. So I invited Kulown as the final member, if you will accept. Music on in the background, yes. We keep it on for right now, and then when we're in game, we turn it down. We turn it off. I'll lower it even a bit more. Okay, there we go. So as they're figuring out their roles and everything like that, I'm going to be answering some questions in chat, but right now, I'm going to focus on basically what the theme is for today and the lesson, because I feel like what's been the best part of these classes is not the lesson where I just dictate to you what's going on or how to do it in practice tool and what we're talking about. I think it's better to use live examples. It's kind of the beauty of a live class, you know? So let's move this really quick. Okay. It's like the beauty of a live class, right? So what you want to do is you want to like see examples of what's good and what's bad in a game and talk about them. So we will be going back a little bit in this game sometimes. We will be pausing and we'll be giving feedback as well as looking at examples, and then we'll be doing a diamond game where hopefully it'll be a little bit better and we can talk more about it. And our emphasis today is roaming. So we're going to be talking about roaming. We're going to talk about roam timers, back timers, and we're going to be talking about what is a good roam and what is a bad roam. And roaming essentially all just comes down to sacrificing pressure in your lane or I guess sacrificing presence in your lane for presence elsewhere on the map. And the word I want to emphasize is sacrificing, because it is always a opportunity cost. If I am not in lane, then I'm somewhere else, right? So you can't be in 2 places at once. So when you roam, you have to give up your presence in a lane, and you have to give up whether you were being pushed into or, pushing into them. So trying to sacrifice the lowest amount to get a successful roam off is pretty much the essence of what roaming is, or at least mastering roaming. So the mastery of roaming comes from knowing when to roam, how to roam, and why you should be roaming. So the when you should be roaming is when it is an opportune time to do so. And the way you identify an opportune moment is based on your pressure, the enemy's pressure, and what your other lanes are doing / their pressure. So when the lane is being pushed into you, not exactly the best time to roam, but sometimes it might be. Depending on if your jungle is getting invaded, it might be better to sacrifice that wave if you feel like you can win the fight and defend your jungle. If you need to roam down to a different lane because you want to get some surprise attack off, then that also might be a good time to do it when you think the enemy does not have awareness that you're going to be roaming. When it comes down to the second part of roaming, which is the how to roam is going to be based on your wave most of the time because it is your lane. And then when you get down to the why you roam, it's here's I think one of the biggest parts of roaming is when you roam, you have to think about, why am I roaming? Is it better to stay in my lane, or is it better to go or even follow a roam? I think I see in platinum and low diamond, one of the biggest issues I see is players do not follow roams when the fight lasts long, right? So if top lane roams down mid and they get into a scuffle where it's mid jungle versus top mid, and the enemy jungle will probably come to that fight, and it's a long 2-on-2. When the enemy jungle comes in, it's a 3-on-2, and if your top laner goes, I'm actually going to get plates, it's not really a good decision, especially early roams, because plates on turrets have extra defense on them, and top lane and mid lane turrets actually have extra resistances or extra damage reduction early in the game. It does fall off a little bit later, but around still lane phase time, but not early game. So if early game roams come out, it's way more beneficial to follow, but following roams isn't always what you can do. But I find that one of the biggest issues is people focus so much on plates as opposed to following roams and roaming themselves. It used to be, people would focus on minion waves and maybe turret damage and getting a turret, but honestly, I'd say it's usually not worth it to get plates because you have to control your team, right? If you are trying to get plates, you're controlling your team and saying you guys should not fight. And when it's two people voting against one, a lot of the times they will just overrule and fight anyway and then die. Because you have to make two people kind of get on your mindset. Whereas if they want to fight, they only need to get one person, whoever the top laner is, who's going after plates, to change his mind. And it's usually easier to change one person's mind than two people's. So typically you want to go with the flow, go with the majority on that one, and follow the roam. So why you roam is to get an advantage somewhere other than your lane. And I think that's huge because it is a team game. Now, the reason I emphasized plates is because plates is a very selfish thing in the game currently that I feel people tunnel on a little too much. So when people roam, you actually create not just an advantage for you, but an advantage for another person in another lane. And I think that's really missed by a lot of people, is if you're getting plates, you're only winning your lane a little bit more. But if you're following a roam or making a roam yourself that isn't followed, you create an advantage for yourself and for another lane. And that lane can cash in on that advantage and come to you later. It's kind of you give to get back later. And sometimes you even just get that kill. We see it all the time with players who don't kill their lane opponent, like, Talons who want to level 2 all in you, and it doesn't work. They just pressure the map over and over again. It's an absolute solo queue stomper. Because when you roam, you are going against somebody who isn't expecting you all the time. For example, if I'm laning against a Talon, I expect the Talon to be in my lane, mid lane, against me the entire game. I know his abilities. I've been thinking about what he's buying. I've been watching his inventory. I've been looking at his abilities and saying, when is he using this? When is he using that? Okay, I got hit by the first part of his W. It does that much damage, etc. I'm also the one who knows if he flashed or not, right? But if he roams, he's now in a lane that has not been monitoring him as closely. Maybe they don't know if his flash is up. Maybe they don't know his burst potential or if he just got an item off or item built. They are not monitoring him as closely. So there's always an element of surprise to roaming. Even if you saw the roam coming, you don't always know how much damage that person's going to do. They maybe haven't damage checked you in a bit. But though Talon, it is much easier. I'll put it this way. It is much easier to kill somebody else's lane than it is to kill your lane. It is always harder to kill your lane than somebody else's lane. And the reason is in your lane, people are hyper vigilant of you. They literally see you and they will fight you the whole game, right? You will trade back and forth. And they will be like, oh, okay, I can't take 2 or 3 more autos. I have to back off. And it's this dance back and forth. But when you go to a different lane, even if your mid laner backed and you're ganking mid lane from top side and you're top, they still are more likely to die to you than they were to die to the mid laner. 1 is the angle of entry. 2 is the fact that they haven't been monitoring you. And 3 is that they typically won't see you as a lane threat until and they won't be like, oh, I'm trading CS with this guy. They'll be like, oh, I'm actually going to fight this guy. And that's kind of like a switch that people have where they're like, oh, somebody's coming at me. It's a fight, right? It's not we're going to CS just like me and the mid laner were. It's like, oh, no, the top laner's here. We're going to fight. So it's kind of like a throwdown type thing. And I cannot emphasize enough that it is always easier to kill somebody else than your own lane, which is really strange. But I think I think the phenomenon is due to the fact that when you go to another lane, people think that there's like this lane phase, like respect thing where people shouldn't be here, but they are. And if they show up and they break those rules, then people don't always know what to do. And I think this is such a great thing to incorporate in lower elo is roaming at the right time. Especially if you play wave clear champions. If you don't play wave clear champions, this becomes a little trickier and you have to get pressure otherwise via kills or via clever roams while sacrificing CS. But it's the reason that champions like Talia, when she was mid, and Aurelion Sol, when they could roam with so much power early game, were so effective. Because even if you roam and you don't get a kill, if the enemy player is at least, I would say, high plat or above, they will back off when you dip into Fog of War. So when the Katarina, the Talon, when Aurelion Sol dips into the left or right of mid lane, and you no longer see them as the bot laner, but you know they're on your side, if you are above platinum, typically you will back off until there is confirmation on if the Aurelion Sol or the Talia is coming completely or is there. You will back off. So roaming to a lane or faking a roam to a lane where you actually have a disadvantage can sometimes be good. You dip into a bush in the side lane, or you dip into a bush from mid lane towards the bottom side. If your bot lane's losing, you have a control ward in that bush. You just back in that bush instead of actually roam. And instead of pressuring, where like a Caitlyn Morgana is pressuring your bottom lane, they will have to back off if they're paying attention. Right? They will back off and they will actually relieve pressure for a few seconds until you've completed your back, gone all the way back down mid with your new items, and then they see you again. So that's typically people's thought process in higher elo. You'll see it in LCS all the time, in LEC. And if you watch any professional play, that when somebody is dipping into Fog of War, it's kind of like, it's Schrodinger's champion, where they are both ganking you and not ganking you, but you always have to assume that they are ganking you. Because if they aren't ganking you and you push forward, what have you gotten? Okay, you've maintained your pressure and the game state stays the same. But if they are roaming and you don't back off, then what do you lose? You die, you potentially lose waves. So you actually stand to lose way more if you don't back off than you stand to gain if you do back off, right? Or if you don't back off, right? Like, so if you don't back off, you can lose a lot. If you don't back off and they aren't roaming, then you don't gain much by staying there. So people in higher elo will almost always back off unless their jungler's on that side. And then that's kind of a tell where if somebody is roaming down bottom and they're bad actors, they will actually play the same if it's high elo. And you can kind of see that. So I'm going to ask them really quickly. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8 out of 10. 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. Who we missing? Who we missing? We got No Cane, No Gain. We got Ludus. It's Cow Le Buttered, huh? Mr. Cow Le Buttered. You ready? He says he's ready. Moo Moo. His chat isn't working? Okay. Hold on. One moment, Cow. Can I add you? Here, let me... Hold on. I sent you a friend request, Cow. Can you accept it? There we go. I heard something. Got to restart client, maybe? Is he even there? Okay. You didn't get it? Okay, well. Alright. Oh. All right. Yeah, I was basically just trying to make sure that you were at least here, you know. Whew. When are you going to do EU-NE Plat session? Next week. We'll be doing things, mixing it up a bit every single day. Sometimes we're going to be doing, like, as you guys have noticed, sometimes we've done hard lessons, right? Sometimes we have done very, like, obvious lessons. Sometimes we've given rewards for people. Sometimes we've, I think, also done some cool things where we've done games like this. And let's invite Cow again. Cow le buttered. Cool. Can he go? Perfect. There you go. Sweet. Sweet, sweet. I appreciate that you're giving him a chance to fix his end instead of just replacing him. That's cool. I have no time restraints today, so I'm just chilling. You know, I got nowhere to be. I got nothing to do except be here and talk to you guys right now. When is EU West bronze? So when I do a bronze game, it's got to be for a particular reason where there is a learning lesson on what people can get out of this. Because when you do a bronze game, let me just tell you straight up, when you do a bronze game, it's a little bit more difficult. Let me turn this down real quick. It's a little bit more difficult for people who are higher elo, platinum, diamond, to get stuff out of it, right? Whereas, let me put it the other way. If I break down a bronze game, the gold, platinum, diamond players sit there and go, how is this relevant to me? But if the silver players and bronze players go, oh, okay, this is cool. But if I go and I analyze a diamond game, a lot of the diamond, platinum, gold players go, oh, okay, that's cool. And then the bronze and silver players go, okay, this is cool, where like this is the higher level of gameplay. So everybody's interested. Pretty much all ELOs are interested in what higher ELO looks like. I mean, it's why people watch pro play in general. But if you actually go and do a bronze game, it's a little bit more of it's not really the same type of League of Legends, right? It's not really the same type of League of Legends that you'll see at home if you are above bronze. And especially in Iron, it's really hard to kind of get good moments out of that, I would say. How long is the stream going to be? So the stream is going to be at least 2 games, potentially 3. I really enjoy the content. How come you don't post these videos after live ends? So I believe we were doing that for a bit, is we were actually posting them. So if you look at our YouTube channel, you can see there's like the live classes with Zirene. There's like the first one from 2 weeks ago with the unpredictability, which was a really good one, I thought. Then there was the 2-hour one that was 1 week ago, and then the 2.5-hour one that was a week ago as well. Now, we stopped posting them for 2 reasons. One is they actually have very low engagement in terms of it is a live class. There's a difference between a live class and watching a polished guide. Now, in live classes, me saying, okay, Olu, thank you. Yeah, Olu says, oh man, I got target banned. This is good for you guys because it's live, but if somebody watches it in a video, they're absolutely bored because they don't really see the chat. They don't care about who Olu is. There's no interaction between them. It's the difference between, you guys ever watch a TV show sitcom, right? You guys ever watch like a sitcom and you watch it from home and you are just like, okay, I want this 25-minute program with like 5 minutes of commercials. You're like, I'm going to watch this 25-minute program and I'm going to like enjoy it for the story and move things forward. Like you're looking for plot, right? If you are watching that sitcom from home, you are pretty much just watching it to get the information out of it, to get the story out of it and move forward, right? But if you are in the live studio audience for the live taping of it, you will see the actors mess up. They'll drop F-bombs, they'll cut, they'll do outtakes all the time. And so you necessarily aren't there for the same reason. You're watching the same sitcom, but the content that you are consuming when you are live watching it is you get the extra stuff that is not relevant to the people at home. The people at home don't care about the outtakes. They don't care about waiting for the actors to get back in position. They just want their plot, their story. So the majority of people who consume that versus the live studio audience is a much larger portion of people. So much more people will actually watch a guide that is broken down. They don't have the time to watch a live stream that's multiple hours long, especially VODs, which are a little bit boring for people because they lack that live element and they aren't structured. So if we were to post these, it would be, I do the 30-minute lesson at the beginning, then we cut that lesson, put the 30 minutes of that up, and then we also just do the live class. So there's something for 30 minutes for the people who watch it later as a VOD, and then there's people who watch the live class and, get everything out of it there. So the reason it's not posted is, one, it's not really that relevant to the channel. It's more for you guys live. I know that going back and watching it is something that you guys would really like. I don't know if we'll do that in the future, but I don't think it'll live on this YouTube channel. Now I feel like even if watching it not live isn't the same experience, wouldn't it be better to have the option anyway? I would say no. Ideally, yes, but we live in a world where if we are looking at the ProGuides YouTube page, it's like the 13 new broken Korean builds is 266,000 viewers. Best champion tier list is 369,000 viewers 2 days ago. 307,000 viewers, 322. And then there's 10 greatest innovations in League of Legends history, which is basically all about pro play. And that's only got 83,000 views. People don't learn anything from that, right? They don't get the new kind of information. The live classes are about 36K or 48K. So they are a fraction, 10% of a lot of those bigger videos who just came out in 2 weeks. So those videos don't necessarily promote, one, growth, two, also they bring down average views, which is something that people care about, right? So if you have something that is only getting 1,000 views and then you have something that's getting 10,000 views, it's going to average your views to 5,000, right? It's going to pull it down. It's going to be an outlier. So posting these classes constantly yanks things down because it's a very specific subset of the audience, right? So you know how there's it's a submarket, right? It's a submarket of a submarket. ProGuides is a submarket of people who want of League of Legends, right? So it's like ProGuides, Challenger Guides is League of Legends is the product. The sub-market is the people who want to learn and they go to ProGuides. And then the people who want actual hands-on experience and kind of the live streaming portion of that is the sub-market to the sub-market. So only the people who would go to ProGuides to learn, the fraction of that will come down here. So that's kind of the difference, right? Is it all scales down, right? But it is a specific type of, you guys who watch are a specific type of people that we want to give attention to. Now, let's see. Can I go back in this? Okay. Good. So, if you do want to watch the video later, something that you can do is you can actually, if you don't close this window and you keep it up, you can go back to it and it's unlisted. I actually have it, I have my previous session from yesterday here on my computer. I refreshed it and I can go back and forth on it and it's unlisted. So as long as you have the URL link, and you either leave it open. So either leave the window open, go to your YouTube history, or just copy the link and send it to yourself on something, then you'll be able to watch it. But basically only the people who come here during that time will be able to get it for the most part. Hey, I'm a bronze ADC, but I'm so bad at lane control, like controlling waves. Any tips? I did do a wave management course before, talking all about freezing, pushing. I would say look at there's a I think it's like the front page when you load ProGuides, when you load the channel, there's a wave management guide. I feel like doing that, well, looking at that and looking up another guide where it's in text form is probably the best way to learn wave management, is actually understanding that. I was in that course. If you found that helpful, is Garena server different from the others? Yes, it is. I would say it is now, because I believe Garena has over time included less and less regions that are massive, because it's a Southeast Asian region, and I think at one point they ended up losing Vietnam, because Vietnam ended up having its own gigantic player base and its own servers. So I think it was kind of like the cream of the crop got shaved off. What is Garena? Garena is the Southeast Asia area. How to play in losing lane. So one of the biggest issues with people who play in losing lanes is they don't lose gracefully. You have to lose. If you say this is a losing lane, don't try to win it. Try to lose the minimum. So if you are in a losing lane, like you are in one of those matchups where it's like, oh, I am Maokai versus Teemo. What you should do is you are like, okay, I'm going to lose this lane. Now, maybe you'll win it later, but if the lane is in a losing state, don't try to win it. Don't try to wrestle control. Try to make the other person at least not have the lane for completely free. Okay? Any thoughts on Valorant? I was watching it a little bit this morning before this. I do think that Valorant is an interesting game. I think the first thing for me is I'm just going, Valorant is in a spot where it's primed to be new, interesting, potentially fun for a lot of people, and I'm just worried about the skill cap for a lot of people. You know, because not everybody is a shooter player. But I also think it's a good idea. Oh, I go hammer. What did he start? Did he start an ability yet? No, he did. He started E. Okay, but he's fine. All right, let's organize people on the scoreboard really quickly. There we go. And there. Cool. Cool. Hi, I'm in silver too. My macro is bad in mid and late. How can I improve? I would say your biggest issue is probably using your F1 through 5 keys. Rebinding that to something, whether it's Alt 1 through 4 for your teammates, or rebinding it to F1 through 4, where F1 is normally target yourself. Use F1 to target your top laner, F2 to target your jungle or whoever, and just like go down that way instead of using F5, because it's a little far for people. And be conscious of that during the game, and try to use those more often. And play wave clear champions. So think of pressure as the first thing that gets you the next thing. So if I want to go get Baron, pressure mid and tell your team pressure top, and then meet people in the top side jungle and ward. Because a macro is usually because you're not warding enough if your macro sucks, especially at lower elos. So if you don't play wave clear champions and you're a mid laner, you're probably putting yourself at a large disadvantage. NA, again, we literally did EUNE yesterday. And we've done EU West earlier this week. Wow, okay. So that was the level 2 all in. Very, very like quick. They killed an Ezreal because I think it's the best time to kill an Ezreal there is before he hits level 2. So he has, he doesn't have his E. So they actually took that aggressive trade very, very heavily. I can't gain LP. What am I supposed to do? Is it a bug or is it just, oof? Or is it actually an issue? Like with, is it a bug with the game or are you just like memeing? Because you're supposed to win games. That's how you get LP. What are you supposed to do? Win games. Just win, forehead. From Plat 1 to Grandmaster top lane here. If you wanna like climb with top lane, you gotta figure out what your favored style is. So everybody, I feel, has a favored style naturally. Your natural tendencies will typically dictate that. So if you're a player who likes playing mages and carrying, you're going to play something like Vladimir top lane. You can even play Cassiopeia if you want to. If you are somebody who likes bruiser champions and you can't aim, don't play Aatrox. Play something like Jax, right? If you are somebody who likes aggressive early pressure, you can play things like Quinn. You can play things like Callista if you actually like skill expression and are very mechanically gifted or studied. And things like Vayne as well. So it's like Vayne, Callista, Quinn are all things. Quinn is probably the least skill demanding of them. How to climb as ADC in Plat. 2 ways, actually. One is play things like, I would say, Tristana, because she hyperscales, and games typically go longer in Platinum than they will in higher elo, because people don't know how to close games. So Tristana is always a really good pick. Learn to play mages in the bot lane. Oh, he's dead. Yep. He ran down the lane there by the Aatrox, who the Jax was trying to kind of play the lane against this guy, and he was... So right here, Jax messes up. Because Jax actually should just back off here. Because, like, look, why... See, this lane will push to Jax. This lane will actually push into Jax, and he's half HP. He should just back off. Yeah. And he should be playing Brush, too. He should be playing for the Brush. Pretty late on all the E and all of that. So, kind of a misplay there, just overall. Pretty rough. He didn't have his ward up either. Only Tristana has a hyper carry. Because Tristana is self-sufficient, Tristana can shove waves, help your team end the game by just roaming around. So if you get an advantage, it's easy to go top with Tristana and then get that turret, and then go mid and get that turret over and over again and just rotate. So Tristana is self-sufficient because her W and her R are self-peeling tools. She has a gigantic leap, and she has a knockback. So she can take care of herself. She's not team dependent. So that's why I find Tristana to be probably one of the best hyper carries, is that range as well. When you play like Vayne, you really have to be better than your opponents, and you could so I'll put it this way: if you're playing Vayne, you're probably skilled enough to play any AD carry besides Vayne and find success and play with your team. What about Sivir? Little low range, more team dependent, can't deal with some matchups, right? Very, very easy to play though. How do you beat Mundo? Buy Grievous Wounds very early. It depends on the champion that you are. Ooh, Elise came down in the old spot. And I think he's dead? No, just barely. Just barely. But yeah, you can see the pickaxe advantage here for the Tristana. The Tristana has already spent her gold and gotten the pickaxe early, and so she's just had a lot of pressure in this lane. Ezreal hasn't been able to buy anything because that first back was pretty bad from him. Or first death, I guess. What was I talking about there a second ago? I was talking about... Mundo. Yeah, it really depends. You have to buy Grievous Wounds early. And if you are in lane, do not worry so much about the gold you sink into Grievous Wounds. So... If you are like a Teemo, you can buy Executioner's Calling. It's fine. It's better than dying. Oh, that's going to be I think that's going to be a Twisted Fate death here, unless he gets under turret. Yeah. So Twisted Fate is trying to roam around. Oh, okay. The Nidalee, yeah, so he got under turret. The Aatrox, oh, okay. That's a flash. Still got the flash, though. I actually don't think he needed a flash. He had enough HP, he was fine. But, yeah. So, also, I'm going to pause it here for just a second, because I think this is a really good lesson here, is what Twisted Fate did here. Yes, he is Twisted Fate. Absolutely. Right? What Twisted Fate did is Twisted Fate backed. When did he back? He backed around this time, right? Yeah. So he backed at 5 minutes. And because he has teleport advantage, you can see that like the Vladimir and him are actually not trading very well, right? It's Vladimir is beating him. Just straight up. 5 CS more, has a wave shoving into him, all that. So he actually uses teleport to get back to lane. The Vladimir does not respect that. And then what he does is he backs in a bad spot, gets interrupted. We saw this earlier. Now the Vladimir's on the back foot. And he's like, oh, I don't have a good time to back. The best time to back is now. Right? But because he hasn't backed. So this is something that I think people need to consider more. Okay? Is because Vladimir has not backed, he's not just screwing himself. He's screwing his team. Because they're diving topside here, and he's focused on this minion wave, he doesn't get to get back out on the map. And now he's like trying to do this thing where he's like fighting for the wave. And now, remember the Vladimir, literally a moment ago, was pressuring this Twisted Fate. And one bad back, teleport disadvantage, all of that means the world here. Because the Twisted Fate gets to roam, be a part of this abysmal kind of fight where, you know, he has to blow flash, the Aatrox gets out, the Nidalee walks straight into that bush where he knows the Twisted Fate is to try and get a kill, misses the spear, jumps and tries to Q or whatever, don't even know what that was, and now the Vladimir gets to back, and he doesn't even shove it into the turret. So, like, because it's a cannon minion wave, right? So, Vladimir has an awful back timer, and he's going to lose more now because he also put his team behind. So, he put his jungler behind by not recalling at the right time or in the right place. He lost his own pressure. His lane opponent now has more gold, got to back by, and it will be coming back to lane with that blasting wand. Oh. Ooh, okay. That's he's dead. Yep. Yeah, this bottom lane is actually like trashing them right now. And the reason is once again items. Now, people don't consider items in like the flow of the game because like I don't care if Vladimir, let's just say Vladimir counters Twisted Fate for all intents and purposes. Let's say Vladimir counters Twisted Fate, right? He's Monoliths during the lane phase. They have about the same range for their abilities where he's going to Q whenever you try to auto or get a gold card. He can pool your gold card, all that. Let's just say for all intents and purposes, he beats him in lane. But Twisted Fate wants to go elsewhere. That means that the Vladimir, once again, it's going to be harder for the Twisted Fate to kill the Vladimir than it is for Twisted Fate to kill anybody else. And it's going to stand the same for Vladimir. But Vladimir's playing for lane because he has Ignite. So he has to pay attention to items. So I don't care if Vladimir beats Twisted Fate, if Twisted Fate has an entire catalyst over you, right? If that's how the early game is. So you have to pay attention to items. So it's right here. It's like, even if, let's say if Ezreal countered Tristana, which he doesn't, but I'm saying if. It doesn't matter. He's got a tier to a pickaxe. The pickaxe is going to be way more effective, and you can see Calibuttard using that here. And that bottom lane is just going to lose because it's double ranged versus, ranged in melee. And it's a really defensive lane here from the Ezreal and the Taric. Taric's going to try to play for team fights, and it doesn't really fit the comp, but it's not a huge deal. Yeah, so now he's got Phase Rush running up. He's taking a lot of damage from the minion wave. He's trying to get his Crimson Rush. But it's like they went even there. And this is... Love the guides, but I cringe when you say mana instead of mana. Hold on. I will actually... I'm gonna take you into my world, sir. For just a moment. So this actually is something that I get a lot. And we're gonna go... It's a live stream. We're gonna have some fun here for just a second. So... That is the correct pronunciation of that word. M-A-N-A is mana. If you Google M-A-N-A pronunciation, you get this.
Mana.
That is the American pronunciation as well. If you go to the dictionary.
Mana.
Okay. That is that's dictionary.com. Let's go to Oxford Dictionary.
Mana.
Okay. If you go to the Merriam-Webster Dictionary.
Mana.
Okay. Now, if I put M-A-N-N-A If I put M-A-N-N-A,
Mana. Mana.
M-A-N-N-A is mana. M-A-N-A is mana. Mana is the spiritual nourishment. It is the bread from the gods. Mana, M-A-N-N-A. Mana is the magical resource in which you cast. Okay, now we are back to the lesson. Of course, because more people say mana, that is still a correct pronunciation at this point. It does not mean it is the original, it means it is the adapted one. Because language is all about communication. If I say mana and you know what I mean, that's what it's all about, right? So, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, is being understood. Was savage? I mean, I get it a lot, but I mean, my background's in psychology, and before that, I was an actor. I was a theater actor. So I've taken voice and diction, where I know the International Phonetic Alphabet. You know, you ever look it up in a dictionary and you see like those weird things where it's like an A combined with an E? I can read that because those are letters that make a single sound. So you write it how it sounds. So like, and there's like an A with like dots above it and all of that. So International Phonetic Alphabet is where it's written how it sounds. So that, you know how like an A in the English language can make like an an ah sound? When it's in International Phonetic Alphabet, each symbol makes only one sound. So when you see like an A with an E, it will always make the same sound. Not like an A for us where it's like that type of thing. So International Phonetic Alphabet is very, very helpful. In France, it's man-a. I mean, in America, it's mana, but the original pronunciation is mana. Oh, he didn't get the stun off. Okay, so when we reach the mid-game here, we're going to talk more about the roaming that we were talking about. And more farm than the Trist, or is it just bad last hitting? The Trist may be struggling to, last hit a little bit under turret. But here comes the roam down from the Twisted Fate onto the Morgana there, so not ideal. Kind of, I would say, not enough headway on that. Twisted Fate, let's see. When does Twisted Fate ping that he's going to roam? Because he gets his Rod of Ages. He gets a better back than the Vladimir. He goes down to the bot side. When does he ping he's roaming? Right there. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I would ping it more, and I would go further behind. But that's all right. You don't want to get like ganged up on. The Taric is playing really far back. That's kind of a botched roam, I would say, from the bottom lane, but also the communication there. Continue to ignore. I'm not continuing to ignore. Ignoring implies that I saw it and chose not to answer it, whereas if I had just missed it over and over again, that is different. Ooh, okay. So, kind of missed stuff everywhere, but look at the Elise. The Elise is being collapsed on here from like all angles. But she will probably get out because repel. Okay, she's gonna just trade some damage onto him. Yeah, so she was completely safe. So she went the right way. Pronounce Aatrox? No, I'm just kidding. How to climb low elo using support. Using support, you either, if you are playing enchanters, find a duo and play with an aggressive laner. So if you're playing like Nami or Lulu, find somebody who plays Draven or Lucian. And not even if they're higher elo than you, but you guys will climb if you are playing enchanters with early game carries. So if you play Janna and stuff like that as well. Oof, people are just avoiding this Elise over and over again, and she is just having a bad time having to blow her flash for that. But they still get that kill that they came for. Is a good roam down from the Twisted Fate who's using his pressure. And I feel like the TF is really kind of applying a lot of... I mean, very easy to do with TF, right? He's like, Fisher Price is my first roamer. But, oh, okay, Elise is dead. Yeah. Oh, here's the Jax. Vladimir's going to heal a ton. Okay, and another flash. So yeah, so even though Twisted Fate is roaming, it does give the Vladimir some time to get pressure in lane, and once again, and like I said, the counter of the Vladimir may come into play eventually. I like the use of the Rift Herald here on the back because it's going to force Twisted Fate to TP. But if he TPs here, he probably just dies underneath turret because you can just land a spear like 100%. So I don't think he can TP back to this, right? So it would force his hand. If he's a bad player, he would TP and like panic. And if he doesn't TP, they get 4 plates. So, and plates go off in a minute, so it's a good time to use it. But yeah, so what was I saying? I was saying, oh. Ooh, that's a lot of damage. Is he going to take it? He's going to take it, yeah. Going to take it. Heal? Okay, not up. Trying to... Now the Nidalee just needs to run. He's going to try to just at least pressure. A big advantage here of 2 levels in the top lane. So the red team is kind of just trouncing right now. But you can see that there's some ideas behind the roams that are going out. Nope, he's going to get pulled back in. He's going to eat that and die. Okay, yeah. The Aatrox is just smashing him in the top side. So they're kind of losing... They're kind of losing every lane now, and a lot of that is the early part of the top side, but also the bottom side has died itself too. So as a jungler in this situation, I don't feel like NNNNNX is doing too much in this game. That's going to be like he doesn't really have any bad choices, right? If he goes bottom, they're winning. If he goes mid, they're winning and win 2-on-2. If he goes to top, they're winning. So no matter what, he's going to gank a winning lane, whereas Kulown pretty much can't do much in this game. He has no real pressure. He has to kind of team up with his mid laner, who's already in a bad matchup. Going bot lane, they can avoid you. They can spell shield your cocoon, all that. They're going after the Vladimir here. Ooh, pulls the card still. He's going to get some HP back. There's Crimson Rush. He'll get the movement speed. Oh. Okay, yeah. Cool. How to improve decision-making. Watch your replays. Actually, watch your replays. I think improving decision-making is watching replays and thinking about what was possible. So it's kind of like, what should I have done here? What was a better option? Always ask, was this the most optimal play I could have made? Was this the best play I could have made? Right? Was there a better use of my time? And typically the answer is going to be yes, unless you are like Challenger. And even then, LCS players, they have to think about that all the time. So what we've been seeing in this game in terms of roaming is we're seeing a lot of kind of lane smashing, and then I think the best person who's transitioned their lead so far is funnily enough, it's not the Aatrox, but I feel like the person who's kind of spread their lead around the most is the Vladimir. And granted, that lends itself to being in the mid lane. But he's the one who's basically become this force to be reckoned with. The Aatrox is going to do his thing in the side lane. You know, people like to think that top lane's an island, but I think that the Vladimir going into the jungle warding and all of that is actually really, really important for this game and allowing his team to control more. So this matchup, although being very lopsided, he's taking more advantage of it. So I like that the Vladimir, the thing I want to emphasize here is I like that the Vladimir, if you guys were here yesterday and saw the Kassadin, isn't playing like the Kassadin. The Kassadin was like not roaming. He was focused really on his lane. The Vladimir, I think, here messed up early with the roam timings of the Twisted Fate and the teleport disadvantage, but he's made up for it now by using the advantage that he got from being Vladimir over Twisted Fate to transition into jungle pressure. And now Kulown basically shouldn't be able to play the game because his top lane is losing and his mid lane is losing and his bot lane too. So Kulown should actually be really far down for the rest of the game. He's probably going to be the same level as the support for the entire game because the team is shutting him down. And roaming is like the cashing in sometimes of your pressure as well. So what Vladimir does is, you know, he'll push roam down to the bot side, roam down to the jungle, and it really does help his team, and it's the team investment that's going to win you the game. If you're trying to solo carry, it's not really going to work out, and it's less likely to work out. And here, Kulown, dead, trying too hard to make something happen. Although Vladimir isn't there, it doesn't matter, right? And this is kind of this would have been like one of the times that you could have actually done something as the blue team, because you had a 5-on-4 advantage because Vladimir's not there, he's back, but you don't really know that. Analysts steps up, gets hit, picked, and they just die. Because the Morgana plus Nidalee, very, very deadly, but Morgana binding in general is just ridiculous. Yes, you need experience to improve. Yeah, so I'm a big proponent of screwing up, right? I think you need to mess up to get better. Because if you do something right, you'll keep doing it until somebody shows you that it's wrong. So if I keep doing, like, if I'm like, oh, I should roam at this point, over and over again. You're like, oh, I should shove the wave, level 2, right? You think it's right until somebody can prove that it's wrong to you. And what happens is you run into like a challenger player, and like I had the experience that I did, where he literally freezes the wave on you because you tried to push level 2. Okay, Vladimir's gonna kill. They're both gonna they're gonna be able to wipe this entire team here if they want. Yeah. So yeah, you basically have the experience I do, where you're just like, okay, he showed me that's not the optimal decision, that it's suboptimal, and that there's a way to punish it, because everybody's gonna do what they think is the best play until they realize that it's not. So nobody gets it right the first time, I would say. And if they do, they will try to figure out, it's like an experiment, right? Is there a better thing to do here? Is it like people will int on a character to learn it better because they're limit testing, quote unquote. But that is actually like a thing. You should be trying to test your limits and figure out if you could have done that, if that is the right thing to do. And I think it's the big thing with like life lessons too. It's why people write memoirs, is they write all of their mistakes in a book and show you that they got to where they are and where they're successful because of how many times they messed up. Yeah, and now he just gets 2 shots. So, yeah, he's donezo at this point, unfortunately. Clown's not going to have a good time. But yeah, so I'm a big proponent of messing up and being okay with failure. I think being okay with failure is a big part of getting better. So a lot of people are not okay with like losing LP. I would say I'm not saying don't care about it. I'm saying like don't let the negative result affect you in a way where you think it's a reflection of your ability or your potential ability, right? That's what I would say. So in this game, they're doing a good job of closing it, except like the Vladimir is 2v1ing in the bot side, and he can do that, and he's causing pressure. And even though he doesn't have teleport, they're still going to 2v1 him, and they have their biggest team fighting champion of Tarek in the bot side. So they don't have to worry about anything in this game. I feel like this is going to be a 20-minute game here because the Tristana can knock down the turrets, the Aatrox is really, really fed, and the Vladimir can just continue to push the bottom side and is kind of hard to punish. This is a strange rotation here. The Morgana's going to get caught in transit. Okay, good. Okay, good. They got the Morgana out. I was like, don't go to the right side. So many people forget that there's a turret up and stuff. You mean Vlad can 1v2 what champ cannot 2v1? I mean, when I say he's in a 2v1, you know what I mean, where I'm talking about people are playing into him 2v1. And I do it from left to right, so 2 from the blue, 1 from the red. So, but yes, you know what I mean, is that Vladimir is by himself pulling 2 people to him. It's all just matter of perspective, right? If it's from his perspective or theirs. Semantics at that point. Who's being toxic to the Elise? Really? I mean, the Elise did stop moving for a second there and got killed earlier. So I assumed he was typing and something was wrong. But, I mean, it doesn't make the game any better, you know? And something, I mean, it did happen early where the Jax died solo to the Aatrox. And then there was all that snafu topside. Okay, so he's trying to get something back here. They're killing the Morgana because the Morgana's black shielding the Vladimir. Vladimir's going to go back in. No, not quick enough on that. Actually going to stop it. Okay, second gold card. Okay, do they have the damage for this? Good, okay, they get the kill finally. So they're able to punish, kind of using the Twisted Fate rotation and catching him off guard. Now, if Twisted Fate was right in that lane, they would have been very conscious of it. But now that you have that trick of him showing up, they are caught off guard, and you can catch fed people off like that. He does use the pool. He does get the black shield. He doesn't get the first gold card. The second one he zone uses. And I feel like they did a really good job there of trading 1 for 2, where they got the Morgana and they got the Vladimir, but they did lose more. But I'm saying at this point in the game, you can't really make a play and expect to keep your inhibitor, right? That's what I would say. Is you can't expect to keep your inhibitor in that play, so you have to kind of make the most of what the inhibitor is going to do, which is take the Tristana basically having Tristana consuming her time, I would say. How do you differentiate the decision between taking an inhibitor or a Baron? Actually, a really good question, and people struggle with this all the time, is very, very, very situational. If there are people that are down on the enemy team, and you feel like the Baron is not a 50-50, then go do Baron. It gives you 5 kills worth of gold, and it allows you an easier time to take the inhibitor in the future. Whereas if you take the inhibitor, it doesn't give you initial gold, but it gives you pressure potentially to take the Baron later. But next time you take the Baron, everybody will be up, right? So if you think about it this way, if I can do Baron or inhibitor, and they're both like on the table, I would take Baron 9 times out of 10. Reason is, Baron gives you 5 kills worth of gold, so I'm stronger when I go to get the inhibitor. I have better minion waves, whereas if I get the inhibitor, I haven't gotten extra gold. I haven't gotten 5 kills worth of gold, and if a team fight breaks out at Baron, which when they are up, they will try to do, Baron assists them doing damage to me, and I don't have that extra gold that I would have if I had done it in the inverse order. So if you get the inverse, it's like Baron helps you get inhib, whereas inhib doesn't help you as much to get Baron, right? It doesn't help you as much. And in fact, it's more of a time game, and you give the enemy more time to do things, to clear waves, to ward up, all that. So I would say 9 times out of 10, you typically go Baron if you can get it. So if it's between those two, do that. Should I go Zombie Ward instead of Eyeball Collection? If you sweep a lot, and if you like Zombie Ward is typically better. Eyeball Collection, I would say, is for the snowballing and low elo. So if you are actually getting a ton of kills every game, Eyeball Collection stacks faster. Oof. They also don't really have Grievous Wounds this game, and they're against an Aatrox, a Vladimir, an Elise. Like, Grievous Wounds should have been one of the very first things that's purchased in this game by at least somebody. Now, Morellonomicon for Twisted Fate. Morellonomicon is the worst Grievous Wounds item because it takes too long to make for the time where you probably need it. Morellonomicon is like a tack-on, right? It takes a lot of gold for getting the Grievous Wounds itself, whereas if somebody had purchased an Executioner's Calling, even if they aren't laning against the champion necessarily, it's still a little bit better. Getting a Bramble Vest, not ideal versus Vladimir, but you know, not many champions in this game could get an Executioner's. There's like maybe 2 of them, maybe 3 if you really want to stretch it. But yeah, so when I looked at this game and I was observing it, there was a lot of like Twisted Fate trying to roam early and get roam timings off. And he did a good job early, but he's just in a really bad matchup, and the game kind of went terribly for the Elise and the Jax on the top side, and the bottom side wasn't able to provide pressure, 1 with their champions, 2 with their early deaths too. So when you start the game off in this position as the Twisted Fate, there's not really much you can do. He tried to roam, but he's losing more in his lane than he's gaining, because when he roams, if the Vladimir's getting free farm, that gold is worth a little bit more on Vladimir, unfortunately, because of the way his passive works. Gold just is worth more on Vladimir. You spend 100 gold on combat stats, you actually get like 125, right? So he spends like 400, he's getting like 500 gold out of it. He spends 1,000, he's getting like even more. So Vladimir typically is somebody who, if he gets gold and you aren't going to him and you're going elsewhere, kind of sucks, but he's harder to gank. And the Elise wasn't really finding any success there either. So I would say it was a good job from all of the laners on the red team to get their advantages. They didn't really do much spreading around here. And I think they didn't, despite the game being 24 and a half minutes, they didn't really put the nail in the coffin for the enemy team through any roaming of any kind. They basically stayed in their lanes. I would say the warding from the Vladimir on the bottom side jungle and then the rotations were good, but it was more rotating than it was and tagging people in than it was actually like roaming and having mid-game roams kind of win you the game. It was kind of everybody was just, the jungler would show up in the lane, they would 2-on-2 or they would 1-on-1, and it was mostly junglers. I'd say the Jax tried to roam down from the top side a bit, but his champion just isn't particularly good for killing Vladimir when he's in a a head state, and especially when you don't have something like Grievous Wounds available to you. So, but you see, he did buy a Tiamat and try to get pressure in his lane against a champion that shoves better than him. So you saw him trying to fight for some priority and try to roam, which I think is kind of the idea of the lesson. But here it really fell apart from the early game where he got killed, because I think the top laner just outplayed him and kind of understood the matchup a little bit better and the positioning of the wave and how to push down topside really hard. What should I do in a matchup being melee versus ranged? Look for the opportunity to all in if you are an all in champion. If you are a champion that doesn't all in, you have to call your jungler, and if your jungler doesn't come, then you have to lose the minimum. If you have to give up plates, that's fine. Just make him kind of work for it. Don't like it completely exhaust your health bar. Use your health bar as a resource to get minions back frequently when you do have cannon minions coming, and pay attention to that. Pay attention to cannon minion waves because they are your friend. When a cannon minion wave is coming, that's when you want to back. So clear that wave if you can, and then back. Even if it's like underneath your turret, whenever. You need to come back with some combat stats. Give up CS now to get CS later if you go back on like a good back timing, because you might keep him in lane. And I think it's important to make the person pay the maximum for things in those matchups. But yeah, so when it comes down to roaming in this game, we saw, I wouldn't say too much roaming. The junglers kind of got off to a bad start on the blue side. Even the red side, it wasn't really a great start for him either. And jungle is kind of the role where roaming is natural and happens all the time. It's just part of your job. But the other lanes, I didn't really see Ezreal move. Taric didn't move. Jax kind of moved mid sometimes because his lane was forsaken. Aatrox didn't really move out of the top side, just kept trying to bash him in. Vladimir, same thing, maybe a little bit to the bot side. Excuse me. And same thing with like Tristana and Morgana. There wasn't really too much here. Morgana did like move and team up with the Vladimir frequently, but that was fine. But I think in this game, the Twisted Fate, what he would have wanted to do is go topside. So when Twisted Fate roams, to the bottom side with his TP, I actually don't think that's the right play. I think the way that you win this game as a team that has Jax with TP advantage and a Twisted Fate with TP advantage is you don't play for lane. You have to avoid losing your lane and go to each other's lanes. So what I mean by this is the ideal scenario here for Twisted Fate is you don't ulti bottom. You don't ulti bottom because the Tristana can buffer through your stun anyway, and the Morgana will black shield. And it's a very telegraphed stun. So getting a kill bottom lane is very low probability. You'll see the jungler with your ultimate, so you'll know if it's a good call or not to go topside. And the Aatrox, who has Flash Ignite, versus this Jax, should be gold card stunned followed by a Jax E stun. So what'll happen is, the ideal scenario is Twisted Fate goes top with R, backs, goes back to lane, can then use his teleport to maybe go topside, and just basically cycle between ulti top lane, teleport top lane, ulti top lane, and put the Aatrox super far behind. Now, it's the Jax's fault for actually dying early and kind of throwing that plan. But then what the Jax should do after the Aatrox is killed multiple times is go to the bottom side of the map. So you want to kind of have Twisted Fate go top early, Jax start winning the matchup, Jax TP to bot side to win that side of the match, and then Twisted Fate can also join up with him there. So like maybe the third or fourth Twisted Fate ultimate should be towards the bottom side, but none of the early ones should, in my opinion. Even if they're pushed up, like Black Shield, and because you got to consider what the champions are going to do. So we talked about when to roam. We also need to talk about where to roam, because just roaming in general is not always going to be good, because if you go to the wrong place, it's not a good idea. So you can waste your time and you sacrifice a lot to get nothing, right? So when I talk about sacrificing and roaming, it's not just pressure, it's where you could have roamed instead. I'm actually like giving up the opportunity cost of, if I use an ultimate or TP bottom, I'm not using it top lane, which can affect the state of the game. But I think the Jax dying early was kind of a big issue here, because he blew Flash and Aatrox didn't. And so it did kind of become, for lack of a better term, a bit of a shit show. So okay, now we're gonna do a diamond game here. So let's get diamond players in here from North America, diamond and higher. players, ideally. Katarina. Oh, God. I can't. So here's the thing, Katarina, is I actually can't type your name in anymore. Because I had to copy paste it. And, like, your T is all weird and shit. Like, yeah, it doesn't copy paste from the YouTube thing. It doesn't copy paste from YouTube chat. It's a little strange. YouTube chat is like not real, not a real thing. All right, let's get where's the name? Empo. Okay. Is this NA? Yes. SSJ Physics, cool. I'll check you real quick, just cause. Cool. Rango, nice. People are. No, I realize that you're my friend. It's just, you're not. Do you really want to play in this diamond game? MVP of that game. The MVP is probably Aatrox, just because he ruined the entire plan that you would have if you were trying to play optimally as the enemy team. So it's not like a big like accolade, I would say, because the Vladimir's also in contention for that. But like Tristana also did the same thing too, so it's like it's a little bit iffy. All right. Which champion do you believe is the most gold value? Which champion do you believe has the most gold value like Vladimir's passive? I think it probably. I'm trying to think, because I think Vladimir is. It's like Vladimir, Cassiopeia. Vladimir, Cassiopeia, Rise. Because like if you think about the way those champions work, Vladimir, he gets extra stats from every bit of gold that you typically spend, AP or HP, in his build. So he gets extra. He basically creates extra gold from the gold you spend. Cassiopeia can actually get more items, and she has a frequent ability. She has basically good ratios and frequent abilities that she can dip into frequently. So frequent abilities she can use frequently. She has low cooldowns abilities that you can dip into the AP ratio frequently. So if you have a 0.2 AP ratio and you're casting that thing 5 times every 5 seconds, you're basically 1.0 AP ratio every second, right? Or every 5 seconds. So those two for sure. Vladimir, Cassiopeia. Vhagar is one where you basically print money like through killing things, so I wouldn't really consider him like somebody that gold goes really far on. But in terms of gold going far, it's those two. Rise, because also mana equals damage for him too. And durability is actually very, very good on him because he has the same type of machine gun play that Cassio does. Orianna, I don't say as much. Caston is the other one. And once again, it's very low cooldown ultimate, very low cooldown abilities, right? So it's kind of those 4 champions, I would say, gold goes really far on at all points in the game. And Caston's kind of like the one where it's like later it really scales up. But I would say it's kind of in that order in my mind too, where it's Vladimir's number 1, followed by Cassio, who's like equal to Rise, and then you have your final champion in there of who did I say it was? Why is my brain doing this right now? Because I'm trying to juggle like 3 things at once. It was what did I say? I don't even remember what I said. It was another busted champion. Kassadin, yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. It's Kassadin. Good lord. Okay. Not gonna invite that person. Yeah, thank you so much for that. Will you ever do EU West game? Yeah, I did EU West earlier this week. Dual Dorans. You're a little bit low for this one. So all the diamond players, please, in North America, if you would like to play. Is one tricking good for climbing? I would say no. It's like you really want to play at least 3 champions. One tricking is like super good if it's not a banned champion frequently. But if you are one-tricking something that's banned a lot, I would say you kind of have to learn, or if it's popular, right? So if you're one-tricking something that's not popular and is not banned frequently, then you're going to find more success for sure. Okay. I was D4 on EU and E. What is your EU and E account? No one comes dual door and will play one and only Diamond Clash tournament, so it isn't usually played. Okay. Can I win a game with Jim from Brush? Look on losses. Vladimir Jax and other champs is good for climbing plat 1 here. Yeah, for sure. Vladimir is a very, very good champion for climbing, I would say. He's probably one of the best. He's my frequent ban. He's flexible. Is it only NA? Yeah, it's only NA right now. So we're looking for NA Diamond players in North America. Which support is best for climbing? Best supports for climbing. Pike, Thresh, Bard. Janna, unfortunately. Janna is always good because she stops enemy plays, which is a very, very, very powerful tool with her ultimate. And it's instantaneous too. And it basically, her W also allows her to have a lot of pressure. Is Nico good? Not really. She could be better, but her play pattern, if she's better, is a little bit toxic. Are there no diamond players? No diamonds? No diamonds? No diamond North American players? Yasuo good? Yasuo iffy. Figure out what is up with my MMR. I get 17 per win and 17 per losses, but I'm climbing and going on 5-game win streak still leaves me with the same gain. I'm gold 2 currently. That probably means that it thinks your MMR is a little bit higher, so you play again. I don't know. I really don't know. Attack to carry. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Attack to carry. Yep. Attack to carry. This way is to climb low elo jungle. Low elo jungle, I would say Warwick is super good. Warwick Olaf in low elo jungle. Olaf is really good into most meta junglers. And Echo. I would say Olaf, Echo, and Warwick are probably some of your best ones to play. Elise is normally one of the ones that I would say you play in low elo, but I actually don't recommend her right now in low elo. I think she's too hard to play. Is Rammus good right now? If the enemy team is full AD, pick Rammus, yes. If you guys are a diamond in North America, please give me your IGNs. Your opinion on NASA's top in gold plat? Super good because people don't know how to shut him down. And if you know how to get a CDR build and just farm, then you're fine. Memage. Okay. Is good right now. Zoe could be better, but I think that she's too disgusting of a champion in the right hands. So you don't trust me? I was D4. What is it, Marius, Alex? What do you... Wait. I haven't seen... Oh, you're the Lieutenant Lick Me? No, it's not that I don't trust you. I just want to know what your account was in EU and E. Because if anybody in the chat told me they were any elo, I wouldn't trust them, or I would want confirmation. That's all. Right? It's not that I don't trust. It's like I seek confirmation. It's like if somebody at the border was like, "What's your name?" and then you tell them your name, and they're like, "Okay, can I see your ID?" It's like, okay, you know. It's not that they don't trust you or are skeptical. It's that they need confirmation for the good of what they're doing, right? All right. Once again, guys, if you are Diamond Plus, go ahead and put your IGN in the chat if you're in North America and you want to play. How about Nidalee right now? I think Nidalee is... Only play Nidalee if you are better than your opponents. If you are like trying to climb and you actually are like a really skilled player and you are smurfing, then Nidalee, yes. But I would say I would say no. Typically, I would say her lack of CC means that you have to play her and rely on your team and your ability to outplay people. Because if you can't really outplay people and you don't have good, I say game sense for what to do, then oh wow, okay, this guy is a good player for sure. If you don't have a good sense of what to do, you're going to lose uptime, and then you're going to get outscaled, and you're going to be put behind, especially if they have CC. Nidalee has to play in a very specific way. So I don't recommend Nidalee to low elo people. Thoughts on Twisted Fate? Pretty weak. I would say in higher elos, he's really telegraphed, and you can play around him, but you have to kind of just pressure with him. Any more diamond players? I got you in there, low elo mugger. I invited you already. Thoughts on Katarina? Very, very strong in solo queue, especially in lower elos if you know how to survive the first few levels, that's all. Thoughts on Fizz? Very, very, very strong. Same thing with Katarina, just survive the first few levels, go roam. You're a nightmare for everybody else in the game. I would say Fizz is typically a little bit stronger than Katarina on average, but Katarina is more of a snowballing champion. And if you're higher skilled, she gets better results until you hit Challenger. What can I one trick to Challenger? There's many different champions, whatever you want to do. I've seen people one trick like random stuff to Challenger. Thoughts on Mordekaiser? Too strong base stat wise and scaling with levels. So even if he dies twice early, he can still duel you because of his ultimate. It's kind of like a Trundle, right? Is low elo mugger a smurf? Yeah, he's 71 wins, 37 losses. He's got like a, what is that? That's a 66% win rate. And he's the number 53 Shaco in North America on the account. So. Thoughts on Garen? Thoughts on Caston? Okay, so there's a lot of people asking me thoughts on champions. I'll give you my thoughts on champions as we get people who are diamond in this game. If we can't end up getting all the people we need, we'll just do a normal with these 5 people. What win rate percent best shows that you were in the right tier? 50. 50, 51, 47-ish. Can we do no bans? Hold on. He jumps from bush. Oh. Hold on. Lieutenant Lick Me is your NA account. Jumps from brush. Oh, okay. You have really good KDAs. Bronze, Season 7, Season 8, Silver, Season 9, Gold. Let me check your... Okay. Jumps from brush. Really? Jumps from brush. I got demoted from D4. What I see here, jumps from brush, is that you were bronze season 7, season 8 you were silver, season 9 you were gold. This season you're platinum, and you peaked platinum 100 LP. Maybe you went to diamond 4, but it's really hard to demote out of diamond 4. So I don't, because on March 12th. You were P1 100 LP, And then 4 days later, you were P2 18LP. You do have a 55% win rate in Plat 3, but I don't know. Hard to demote from D4? Yeah, because when you promote to D4, you get demotion protection for like 15 games or something, or like 10 games, where you can lose 10 games and not fall out. You get the demotion shield, right? So the volume of games that he would have to play is really high. How can we join the game? If you're Diamond, if you're Diamond on North America, is it worth trading Baron for Elder late? If you're gonna avoid them, but if they have ways to jump into you, you should always take the Elder. You should always take Elder if you have the chance. Elder is better than Baron, in my opinion. Unless you have a team that can completely avoid or split push. But even then, you can't join the game if you're Plat but Diamond last season. You can. It depends on like how high in the Diamond you were. If you give me your account and I look at it, because like I have all the tools to like investigate people and see like what their peak was and stuff. I mean, those are both good on Mastery. I think they're both applicable. Conqueror as well as Lethal Tempo are both champions that are both runes that I think are good on Mastery for various reasons. I feel like if you don't have anybody who can sustain you, then Conqueror. If you are absolutely going to 1v9, then you take a Lethal Tempo. But typically, I would say Conqueror is the one that people really want to do. Lethal Tempo is like a pub stomper. All right, Smackjack. Let's see. Smackjack. Smackjack. Oh, it's on the wrong server. Okay, there we go. Damn, Smackjack. It sucks to be you right now. It really sucks to be you. You're like doing well in your games, but you're still losing. Are you doing well? No. Your CS is pretty poor. I would say as a solo laner, you need to focus on your CSing a little bit more. Let's see. Oh yeah, this guy. I think we played with him before. No. Okay. Which is best soul? I believe it's Ocean. I believe Ocean Soul is considered the best soul. I believe it's Ocean. Typically because it means you at least have 2 Ocean Drakes, which is the strongest Drake anyway. Just Ocean Drake by itself If there's any Drake that you want to fight over early, it's Ocean. If there's even a single one, because having Ocean over your opponents is massive. Okay. Any more Diamond players in North America? Maybe we're out of Diamond players. Maybe EU West is actually just better. Damn. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe it's true. What is this? Aurelius? Okay. That doesn't look like a North American account. Defiance. Oh, Defense. Okay. Is this actually, is it Defense? Orethius? Are you? Oh, there. Why did that work? Okay, there we go. Should mid laner care about roaming or CS? Very much so. Depends on the situation. If you can actually beat people. What do you think about Kaisa? Very strong. Not early, but like later in the game. Scales very much so with attack speed. Kind of like a pseudo Vayne, but more team friendly and potent, I would say. Less solo ability. But definitely is a big shredder. Okay, hold on. All right, any more Diamond players? Shadow. Memi Shadow. What is this? Memi Shadow Andy. What? Me, my Shadow Andy. It seems like you're EU West. Hold on. Me, my Shadow Andy. It seems like you're EU West. I'm looking for North American players right now. Okay. All right, anyway. Ugh. Where is... Okay. Somebody else is talking. Okay, guys. Okay. Yeah. A little sidetracked on that. Oh boy. Okay. We need 2 more North American Diamond players, please. Two more North American players, please. North American Diamond players. North American Diamond players. Just 2. Just need 2. Dos. Okay. Cool, cool. Ooh, okay. Oh yeah, you're playing. Seems like you're playing a lot of stuff in normals, rank flex. You're a jungler, but we have a lot of jungle players in this already. So if you're comfortable playing a different role, that'd be helpful. Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's boom. Let's just get everybody out of here real quick. I want to make sure that they aren't in a lobby when I remake it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a blind pick game. The reason we're doing a blind pick game is you guys will be able to look at the stream and see what the other people are actually doing anyway. So it's not as big of a deal, but there's a lot of people who have one tricks, and like I feel like having somebody just play off their one trick is not going to be as helpful, and watching one tricks can be good for learning. Okay. And we need one more diamond player. Just need one more diamond player. Blind pick. Yeah, we're doing blind pick because there's a lot of one tricks in this. But if you guys figure out what role you're going to be playing, but you guys will be able to see what you're playing against through the stream, basically. Most impact in this patch. I would say don't like try to like game the system, and just lock in as early as possible if you know what you're going to play. But you guys have like figured it out with your team. So one more diamond player is all I need. Okay. Need one more diamond player in North America. I could play. We already have 2 junglers in here, unfortunately, or maybe even 3. I don't know. But also, I think being on stream and being ghosted isn't that amazing. But it's actually funny because I think Mike Young, when he was here on Wednesday, did something where like I think he played against lower elo players and was like, "You guys can ghost me, it's fine," or something, and like wanted you to ghost him and try to beat him while ghosting him, which I thought was actually a funny challenge. One more. Who counters Diana? Off the top of my head, I'm not quite sure, to be honest. It's probably a... I mean, Cassio always wins like other matchups. That stream is super good. Yeah. Yeah. Cassidin, Cassio. People who have like... It's probably Cassidin because he can get away from all of her stuff. Smash everyone. That was funny. Yeah. I mean, because he's just such a better mechanical player and decision making. Let the plats get in. If you are high plat and you have a like a high win rate, then yeah, I'd let you in because I'd be like, oh, you're basically diamond. Yeah. What is that? That's a long thing. All right. Slamonka. Okay, let's see. Slamonka. It says that you're an EU NE player. My win rate is Yoked Penguin. Let me check you out, Yoked Penguin. Oh yeah. Wait. Yeah. Wait. You have like you're 60% win rate basically. You're fine, dude. You'd be fine. I think you CS well on average for the most part. I think you still need to work a little bit more there for consistency. But you typically stomp people in your games pretty hard. So I would say that's fine. Yoked Penguin. I would say you're practically Diamond 3 MMR at this point because you're already what 40, 50 more wins than losses. So 50 more wins than losses over 270 games is like it's good. Yoked Penguin plays top. So let's figure this out. Okay, so, all right, so, hold on. Team 1, sound off on your roles. Just so we can have one team talk about what they have. So it's like Yoke Penguin is top. AKA say what you play. Yeah. So all right. Okay. Stop talking. Team 1, say your roles. If you're team 2, do not talk. Jungle, yes. Top, yes. ADC, okay. Top, okay, cool. And our final person is mid. Okay, so we just need a support on left side, but Yoked Penguin said he's chill playing support, correct? Okay, now team 2 roles. So left side is fine if we find we have multiple support players. On the right side, mid ADC support, okay? Jungle, mid fill. Okay. So let's swap and defense. Okay. Oh, true. He didn't say anything, huh? What is he? Nenex. He plays mid mostly. Did he say mid? He said mid. He said mid. Yeah. We're Gucci. Start whenever. Cool. We did it, guys. We did it. Communication. I told everybody kind of to shut up there for a second, but it's like, it's much easier if it's just like, okay, only you talk for right now. Okay, now only you guys talk. Because the chatter and the clutter doesn't add to anything, really. So it's kind of like, eh. I mean, if we want, I can also do this and just like block what people are picking so that people don't really ghost and see kind of what people are actually going to play and counterpick. So I can just hide it for now if we feel like that's a more fair way of doing things. Yeah, we're doing blind pick for 2 reasons. One, I feel like the whole point is to learn, and seeing people on their best champions here is completely a legitimate thing that we want, because it's not a competitive match by any means, right? We're not supposed to be like trying to gain elo or anything, right? So I would say this is more for learning, and seeing people on their best champion is always going to be good. And there's some one tricks in here who literally only play one thing, and I don't want to punish a one trick because they volunteered to play, right? And they're helping us out. So I feel like, so it's like I used to play with like a Cho'Gath one trick player in Challenger, and when I invited him to a custom game and it was draft pick, it was like a game with like Ixsmithy and like a whole bunch of other players and stuff like that, and we were just messing around. And what happened was the guy left because he was like, this is draft pick and they're just going to ban Cho'Gath. And he's like, I know I'm helping out, but like, it's not going to be fun for me to play anything but my main champion, so you might as well get somebody else. So there's like a Shaco player in here who only plays Shaco, and the difference between his Shaco and like his next champion is probably night and day. And it's like, oh, he's a diamond Shaco player, but maybe he's like a plat 1 like Kha'Zix or something. Like, I know that like there's a lot that goes into one tricking, and I don't want to punish one tricks in this match in particular, because I think that they're helping us out, right? They're doing us a favor, and I don't want to be like, you are only helping us, and you aren't going to be able to look good, and you aren't, et cetera, et cetera. So I hope that makes sense, because we're not playing for anything right now. We're playing mostly to just show off, to see. I know for some people who play against the one trick, they're like, oh man, this sucks. But like, in solo queue, you don't get to see who you're up against. So if they one-trick Shaco, you don't know to ban it ahead of time. You only know that here because you're playing against him and you saw him in the lobby, right? So, and we aren't LCS, so yeah. I hope that makes sense. I hope that feels fair to people. Why do we have a Shaco and a Kha'Zix? Oh, wait, he's the top laner. Defense. Excuse me. Wait. Oh, wait, no, he's a... Wait, what? Oh, Defense wanted to play top because he's also a Shaco one trick. Okay, okay. Oh, okay. That makes sense. So I ended up having both Shaco one tricks on the same team, and they're both junglers, but he said he prefers top right now, which was a little interesting. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with this game. Regardless. Okay. I can watch the stream when it ends. The way you watch the stream when it ends is it'll be in your YouTube history and it'll be unlisted. So if you keep the tab open and you pause it or something like that, or you copy the URL, email it to yourself, message it to yourself, you can come back and watch it later, but it won't be listed under ProGuides. It'll be unlisted. So the people who are here and you get it in your history and you get it in all like your, or you have the URL, etc., then you can come back to it. Otherwise, no. It's going to be unlisted and very hard to find. When we do silver gold again, I did silver gold yesterday. Did I? I think I did silver gold yesterday in EU NE. Yeah. So yeah, is Trend good in high elo? Tryndamere is mixed in high elo. He's very one-dimensional. He relies on crits, and people know not to fight you. So instead of rolling dice, which lower elo people do, then they fight you early, and then you crit them once or twice because you have full rage. And they go, wow, that's wow. But it's like people understand Tryndamere a little bit better in higher elo. And then they buy things like Thornmail and stuff. Or not Thornmail, but like, they buy like a Bramble Vest tech. But he's very, very good at snowballing. And I would say like mid elo, he's very strong, very potent. Cool. All right. Okay. When do you do bronze in EU West? I explained this where like watching bronze games is not very entertaining for diamond players or platinum players unless you're making a mockery of it. There aren't a lot of learning lessons for them. And if we're trying to appeal to the larger player base and like all of you guys, and also not exclude like the platinum diamond players who want to learn things, they don't learn a lot from watching bronze. They basically learn what not to do, which they already know not to do. They're like, obviously don't be a clown. Obviously don't run it down mid. Obviously don't fight this guy at this point. There's not a lot of takeaways for them. So seeing kind of, I would have to do it in a juxtaposition of another, to another game that I would play, or have a higher elo squad play. I'd have to use it as an example of like what not to do versus what to do. Otherwise, I don't think there's a lot of value to be had, if that makes sense. Let's see. SSJ physics. Okay. Did we... He wanted to play support, huh? Aftershock, Ashe support. I'm actually really curious. I don't know if he's trolling. But we'll see. Because the Spectral Scythe is still actually really good. Spectral Scythe actually really good on Ashe. It actually kind of makes Ashe support work in a sense. Because you get mana regen and you get attack damage, which are the two stats that support Ashe wants, right? You want to be able to poke early and you want to be able to have extra damage on it, I guess. You want to poke frequently and you want to be able to poke for more damage. So Aftershock Ashe. Maybe this is the new tech, guys. Maybe this is the new tech. Who knows? The only way to proc his Aftershock is his R. So I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know if he said something else other than support, but Or did I make him play support? No, I didn't make him play support. I feel like the team on the right has more players playing off-role than the team on the left. He said mid-fill, I believe. Was that him? Because I thought mid-fill was Arithius, the Thresh player. Because when I look at SSJ physics, he's a Rengar player. Rengar Shaco. Yeah, Arethius. Yeah. Okay, so let's watch this very closely. Can we comment on the fact that he has Aftershock? Yeah. I'm a Shaco one trick, but I'm hard stuck in trying to find out what the practice. Yeah, we can look at what the Shaco does here. Because he's done a full red side clear into potentially ganking top side. There's already a ping here. I believe that was from blue team. Because I think they saw the Shaco kill this and then go up. So I think the Lee Sin knows that Shaco is going to come top side. Of course, Shaco has a very quick level 3 using this method. And now he's spotted with that ward, or at least they know that he's warded. So what Shaco's going to do is he's going to hang out here, and then he's going to Q over the wall. There's the level 3. There's the level 3. Q over wall. Go. Going to get the slow. Oh, the pull was a little iffy. W. Oh, there's the ignite. He's dead. And he's dead, too. Oh, but he got executed. He didn't actually get hit by him at all. I think the Mordekaiser just misplayed it a tiny bit. He got ganked, even though he warded this Shaco things right here. I think this was yeah, that was iffy. I think what he should have done, I think the play here for him is you E here. You E this way instead of that way. So you should E here, because one Shaco used his Q and he doesn't have flash. And so you'll pull him here, and then you can flash there, and the Shaco can't reach you. So he pulled him towards him, and you should have pulled the Shaco to be behind you. And then you can just flash away, and you're fine. So yeah. But he gets flash, he gets ignite. And yeah, he has flash way sooner. Yeah, for sure. That's why I said like he should E, wait for the E, the reverse E, and then flash. Oh, nice hook. Oh wait, but the support Ash! The support Ash! Oh, not quite. Wait. Oh, good lord. Oh wait. Woo. Okay. Let's see what happened on the bot side here, because this just looks like... Alright, what happened first? Okay. Oh, he gotta... Wait it. Wow. So he walked up, autoed the minion to kill it with his steel shoulder guard, and then threw the hook. So yeah. So he killed the minion that the Tristana moved up because that minion was there. He killed the minion, walked, threw the hook, flayed, got a big kind of chunk on her. Exhaust goes down here. Maybe a little late on it, but he still has heal. They think they're fine. They have some poke. The gank went down top. And because the gank went down top, they definitely have to play like behind here. And good move from the Lee Sin. I think Emp is doing the right move. He's on the bot side, which is his aggressive side right now. And there's no way that Shaco can get his blue. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. I don't think he was not expecting that much damage. So he got the rocket jump. The heal comes out. The Q hits the Tristana. Turns around, he hits the Ashe. The Ashe hits him there. He turns around one more time to try and get counter kills. But he got Q back, and I think that was just barely. Let's see that again here, because right here, he... Okay, so he did... Oh, sorry, the first attack wasn't a Q, it was the left tap, sorry. Yeah, so then he... Okay, if he had just kept walking, I think he would have been okay. If the Trist had just kept walking after that. Let's see. Yeah, if he kept walking, I think he's okay. I think he's just out of range. And if even then, he pulls the... if he keeps walking, the Misfortune has to take an extra step here. So, I think that may have been enough at that point. So I think the Trist maybe turned around... Turned around at that point. Or shouldn't have turned around. The Trist shouldn't have turned around. Oh, that Veigar skin is really pretty. I haven't seen that one in game, actually. Okay, so low elo Mugger. What low elo Mugger did is... This is my pet peeve. My pet peeve is what happened to elo Mugger. He level 3 cleared topside. And I love, as much as I love that route, it sucks sometimes. And it sucks for this exact reason. Because what he did is he went topside, ganked level 3, died to the turret. Sure, it's an execute, didn't give a kill over. Got the kill. Sure, he got 400 gold or 300. I think it was 400 for first blood. But his whole bottom side is being taken by Lee Sin at that time. Because Lee Sin did red. I think he went red-blue back to... Yeah, he went red-blue back to the enemy blue after he saw the top gank. So Lee Sin's actually killed way more here, including a Scuttle Crab just now too. Whereas Shaco's cleared 3 camps and gotten a kill versus Lee Sin killing red wolves, blue, Gromp, enemy, blue, and Scuttle Crab. So he has twice as many camps as him. And the 3 camps versus 400 gold, the experience is going to be the difference here. So I love this route of a level 3 clear topside into top gank. I do it all the time on Rek'Sai because I don't need blue. But the problem is if you don't get a lot for that, you have to run all the way, like literally if the enemy jungler started topside and then he went to bot side, or he went to bot side, now he's on top, and I gank top, I either get counter ganked and he has blue and red, or if the gank works out, I then have to run here, maybe do Scuttle Crab. I think you have to wait around a few seconds if you didn't like pause on this gank. You have to wait around a few seconds, and then hopefully he didn't run over to your blue. But there's nothing to get here because he's going to do his blue Gromp. You can maybe go get his wolves if he hasn't done them. But when you gank here, your next camp that you can do is all the way over here. The next camp is so far away from you. Scuttle Crab, if it's up, then cool. But you probably use some things on the gank, so getting Scuttle Crab sometimes versus a jungler with flash when you don't have it, or whatever, if you're using stuff on the gank. And then he'll TP back. And so this jungle route is good for lower elo. It's really cheesy and high elo, and you typically lose more of your jungle for it. Because you'll lose bot Scuttle, you'll lose your blue, and then what will happen is Lee Sin is probably going to run straight across mid to the other Scuttle. And he's going to have both Scuttles on you. So he's literally going to take both Scuttles from you, then he's going to go down and he's going to clear his jungle. So I'm like almost positive that's what he's going to do here, is walk across mid. Even if Shaco is there, he doesn't care. He's going to go get the other. He's going to go get the other one. I'm like pretty sure he's going to go for a play like that. Yeah. Yeah, and then team up with Veigar. Veigar makes sure that he doesn't rotate. Now Shaco is sitting here going, "Help me," but he died and TP'd back to lane. And this is what I mean by this is my pet peeve, is this route is good in lower elo, but legitimately, he just got completely destroyed by this route. So the Shaco got hard countered because of what he did, and the extra kicker is the more TP'd back to lane and killed the person that you just ganked for. So Kha'Zix got a lead from that and then threw that lead away immediately after, instead of backing and TPing in with his own advantage. So that is my pet peeve from top laners, is if I gank for you with that route, do not throw it away no matter what you do. I don't care if you miss a wave and have to back and then TP in with your longsword. Do it. Actually cash in on the advantage I just gave you, because if you die to that guy, everything I did is now putting me behind, and you are now even topside, / now he's actually behind topside because of the fact that it's a kill versus an assist. So that early play destroyed the state of jungle and topside in this game because the experience difference. Shaco has a little more gold, but the Lee Sin has more experience, and he's going to get more here too. So the Shaco ends up even / behind in tempo. Even in gold, behind in tempo is what it's going to look like here. Yeah, it's like 100 gold difference, and he's going to go get his wolves, and then he's going to go get his raptors and stuff, and then he's maybe going to back for some items. But the Shaco ends up basically even in gold and behind in tempo, and the top lane ends up in a spot where it's even, and it's like, it just really sucks, you know? It really sucks. So like, I like that route for cheesing, but I don't really like it in higher elo, because I feel like it gets punished by better junglers. If Lee Sin were a worse jungler, that's a good play, because if you do the clear where you go red wolves and it was even warded, if you go red wolves, Krugs, gank, level 3, it's a very fast level 3 gank, and you can get a ton of kills, right? You can get a ton of kills doing this. You kill the guy, you camp the bush, wait for TP, come back. That's like the play that people do in Platinum, and it works really, really well. Platinum, Gold, you'll get a lot of kills doing this, and the other jungle will just be like farming his wolves. He'll go farm his raptors. He'll just farm. He'll maybe get like a scuttle or something, but he won't go to your blue, because Lee Sin went here all the way to here. So if Lee Sin were a worse jungle, it's a better move versus him, but he's a good player. Okay, so next play here is Lee Sin's going to back, spend his gold. Shaco's going to back, spend his gold. And then I think it's a play for dragon control at this point. Bottom side got kills. Mid is a little bit even. They're backing and not using TP. They're holding their TPs, if you guys noticed. They don't mind giving away CS to hold TP. Because you lose, what, 28 gold? 28 gold, 42 gold? For potentially 300 later. Or 600. And if I TP for 42 gold, and the enemy TPs for 600, who got the better trade? You know? Yeah, okay, so yeah, exactly. They both junglers backed, and they go to dragon. Uh-oh. Galio is wow. Oh, he needs to get the... Oh! Yo, that dragon is, the dragon's pumping. The dragon's pumping. Oh, you're dead. And you're dead. And I would actually, I would stop. Yeah, I would stop. So let's watch this again. So, first off, Galio is broken. So the state of the game is double Dorans versus Doran Shield and boots. The Ashe support will actually offer more damage minus the ignite than the Thresh. He's already taking damage from the dragon. The dragon has the attack queued. So the thing is this is a little deceptive because the dragon has an attack coming in too. So he gets hit, and then Aftershock procs. Gives him some extra resistance, is cool. And now he gets hit by the dragon attack, so he actually takes a lot of damage there. Okay, yeah. So one of the things about Galio that I think is a little bit, like, this has been nerfed over time. It's not as crazy, but, like, his passive right now, like, I'll look at it right now. His passive right now, let's see. Let me see if I can mouse over this really quickly. Okay, his passive right now says... His passive right now says it's going to do 69 damage plus 73 plus 9 plus 7. So his passive is going to do, if I can actually do this without changing scenes, because I know I have a hotkey for that. we'll just bust out the clackulator right now. So it's going to do 158 damage. His passive is going to do 158 damage. And what happens is he's going to E, auto, and when you proc Aftershock, it makes you really tanky. But you also get bonus damage on your passive because it's based off magic resistance. So Aftershock actually gives you more damage. So at level 6, and with no extra like MR items or anything like that, he's let's see, he's adding on an extra, it was plus 7 before, 34, 27 damage. So he's doing, instead of 158, he's doing 185 with his passive, and you can double dip on the passive. He doesn't do it in this fight, but the passive goes down when you know it's very, very low cooldown. When you do a combo, you can actually get a second one off. So he can actually get up to 54 more damage, which is almost like 2 ranks of an ability more from having Aftershock. So Galio actually gets so much. Yeah. Gets the kill because the Shaco comes in. This dragon is it's a little, I would say it's a little troll from the Ashe. I think the Ashe kind of got maybe caught up there. Let's see. Yeah, because Ashe is right here. When Ashe needs to walk towards the dragon, actually, because the dragon attacks the closest target, and I think it already queued an attack on the Galio. The Ashe needed to either hit this for him. I think he still dies anyway. Probably one of these guys walks up. So maybe it's a lost cause. The good slow. Really good box there, actually, on the follow. And then just the damage. The jump in. Okay. The kill and the pickup. The Triumph heals him. I think, yeah, the Triumph heals the Ashe, which means he has to follow a little bit more. The Shaco comes back in. So the Shaco's playing really in and out. Really in and out. And I need to check his items really quickly. Yeah, he's got Tiamat. So he's doing a lot of damage in this fight. And I would actually be surprised if the Shaco was not like one of the highest damage dealers minus the Galio in that fight. Galio's broken. Galio is really strong. And Galio just got buffed too. Especially against an AP team, his ultimate. But Galio is a champion where there's aspects of him that are not broken and aspects of him that are in the right situation. In that situation, he got to hit a lot of people with taunt, right? He got to get that extra damage onto the Lee Sin. Ooh, okay. This should be a dead Kha'Zix here. And he dodged the Q. He doesn't have flash. He's going to shield in a second. Where's the shield? Okay, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Did he use it already? Oh, I guess he did. But yeah, so the Kha'Zix tried to outplay there by jumping to the other side, but it's a little rough. I think the only way that you can win that fight. So I think the only way that you win this fight, unfortunately, as Kha'Zix, in retrospect, this is just like a tiny thing about playing top lane. Because you have a lot of minions here, right? So typically it's bad, right? So is he stealthing? Yeah, he's stealthing. And he can see you the whole time because of this. What I actually think is the better play here is, for Kha'Zix, the better play is, instead of playing to this side, I think he should have played to the bottom right here. So if you play to the bottom right here, and like you stealth and stuff, and you stealth to that side, I wouldn't use my second stealth to run away. I would go through him, and then when he queues, I jump this way to the bush so that I get advantage on I get first attack. I get next first attack. So I can get one more auto on him, right? And one more Q potentially. So it's like, I feel like getting first attack there and using Fog might have been the best, but that's it. Why didn't minions aggro Mord? Because he's in the Spirit Realm. Right? And he's too far away from the minions. Because the minions actually probably would have killed if they had actually aggroed him. But they didn't. Because he was in Spirit Realm, and then they didn't count that. And they were too far. Yeah, he's in ulti, so. Yeah, but like I said, Mordekaiser, the Shadow Realm, he get banished, bro. I have to hold back. I have to restrain my instincts to be mega cringe. You know? Ooh, really good play. Really good play, actually. This Thresh is doing work here. No, he flayed the W. He's dead. Oh. Really? Did he not have mana for ulti? I don't think he had it. Huh. Yeah, he didn't have it for ulti. Oof. Right here? Ooh. Instead of the Q, if he had ultied. It's 100, yeah. He was trying to Q ulti, but instead of the Q, if he had ultied, it would have just been better. Hello. Okay, level 6. Okay, he knows that he took it, so now he can just get it for free. Oh wait. Kill it. Nice. Okay, now here's the Kha'Zix. Ooh, okay. Here comes the Veigar, but he doesn't have any mana. He's dead. And he flashed. Oh. I mean, I appreciate it. As a jungler, I appreciate that the Veigar tried to help. But this is a good invade from the Shaco. It's a good invade from the Shaco. Even though he's down a level, this one trick knows what's up. He's at least watching, you know? And the fact that the top laner back too. So this is like, we talk about roaming. If we were talking about today's lesson with roaming. What happens here is Kha'Zix walks back. The Mordekaiser backs. But the Kha'Zix is already on his way. Oh. What's that? Why does my screen look all weird? You guys see that? You guys see how it's like... What? Why does it look like I'm underwater? What the hell? I don't know how to fix this. Uh-oh. But yeah, so the Shaco invading is really, really good here. Oh my god, this is gonna drive me nuts. Come on. Please fix it. Wait, do I have to go back all the way or something? Let me see. Does it... Oh, no. Okay. Is this right? When was that? Okay. When's the Veigar die? Okay. No. Wait, where is it? It's not showing me. It's probably from when Kha'Zix fight. Wait, did I fix it? Did I fix it? It's fixed. It's fixed. Good lord. Okay. Okay. Whew. Okay. Good. So yeah, they see Lee Sin bot side. Shaco goes here. Sees that it's going to be up. So Shaco makes this decision off the fact that they saw Lee Sin bot side earlier. And Lee Sin is red, was coming up. So Shaco's going to go red to blue, and his blue was coming up. So he's like, Lee Sin has to go red to basically catch me here if he does the scuttle. So he waits. Lee Sin actually pulls it over here. I don't know if he sees him. No, he doesn't. Okay, so Shaco's like playing right in that nook where he can see it. I don't know if he saw him. Actually, really interesting. Let's check that actually. Let's see if he saw him. Let's see what the Lee Sin saw. So he goes over. Oh my god, is it happening again? Oh, yeah, he just checks. Why is it happening again? Can I please not have this happen again? Please? it actually like hurts my brain. It hurts my brain a lot. Hello? Oh my god. Why is this a thing? Maybe it's where you are on the map? No, it's the entire map. See, look at this. This is actually the most annoying bug I have ever seen in Spectator. I think it's the Infernal Soul. That might be what it is, where it's like radiating out. So maybe we have to wait for the next dragon to go off or something. I don't know. But regardless, we'll try to stick with it right now. I apologize. Yeah, bad roam. Really good roam timing from the Kha'Zix though. The Kha'Zix gives up this wave to do that, and I think that's totally good. I think this is actually like big shout out to the Kha'Zix because he sacrificed this wave when he's already up in CS. He could be even further ahead. He sacrificed this gigantic wave because the Mord didn't really freeze it or do anything great with it. He kind of built a slow push to maybe dive or something, but which may have been the plan. Maybe they were saying Lee Sin's going to come here. We're going to go dive the Kha'Zix who has no flash, or the Kha'Zix who is just being aggressive or whatever. Maybe they are saying that's what they're going to do. But now he gets to clear some of this wave up. They get the kills in the jungle. They get to put the mid lane behind, and they get the Rift Herald. So that's actually such a good play from the Kha'Zix to roam down and care more about the team, because Kha'Zix just died. Most top laners will go, no, I need this wave. I'm behind. Watch out for Mord. He's ahead of me. But it's actually just better tempo on the play. So it doesn't matter the advantage if Mord can't be there. And I actually think that's such a powerful play, and something that you would only see in high elo is him be selfless in a situation where he was being absolutely stomped, right? Well, I guess absolutely unlucky in, I guess. Okay, now he's pushing the wave back. Galio is on his way. Ulti's in. All right, let's check this fight. Oh, thank God, it fixed itself again. Wait, this is his diamond. So because Shaco was topside and they heard the Rift Herald go off, this is a good timing. So we talk about roam timing, guys. Roam timing is essential. And so Galio gives up the wave push. Veigar has to give up a minion for this. He's not even just CSing this one more CS. He's like, oh no. He's like trying to follow this roam, right? Doesn't walk up in the bush. Is a little afraid of Galio. Maybe could have gotten a stun there if he had actually walked up and was a little bit earlier. But Galio comes in, and let's see how devastating this roam is. Because Shaco was topside, they know he's topside. They 100% know he's topside because the Rift Herald went off. So when you hear Rift Herald go off, go make a play on the other side of the map. Okay? But the Veigar's not the first one to do it. The Galio gets to cover it. So the Galio read him like a book. When did they see he was coming? Here? Okay. Okay, so Rift Herald goes off. Veigar doesn't roam now. And Galio gets to be first to roam. And he sees him over this ward. So yeah, the ward was good. They spot him. They don't... Okay. He flashes over the... So the Ashe, despite taking Aftershock, is not a complete troll. He walks back under turret, which is the right move here. Don't move over here. Go under turret, because that's also where Galio is best and most effective, is under a turret. If you ulti to this person, if he ultis here, and you guys are all over here, then it's like, okay, you know, not a huge deal. They'll back off. But if you're under turret, and they're committing to you, you're going to get the Galio ultimate off, and it's going to be really good. So he gets flayed while the ulti's going off, flashes into the MF, which is funny because... It actually, this ultimate from Galio is good, but if it was actually like a half second later, maybe he would have been able to like capitalize on the flash. So I think Ashe was like trying to get away from these two guys and actually did a really good play here. So Galio comes in. Thresh, I think, is being a little too aggro after the play because he's trying to. Yeah, he flashed over here. Maybe should have flashed down to the right. Or down to the left. Galio comes in, gets him with the tip. There's the slow. Gets both of them. Probably was dead anyway, regardless of the flash, I guess. Such a good combo there. So yeah, the fact that you got to make cross map plays as red team is ridiculous. Because your Kha'Zix came in, you got to kill, the jungler here. You got to go here, get the Rift Herald. You know that the Lee Sin's probably going to go over to the bottom side because you took his top side jungle and Rift Herald, so he's probably going to go over here. So they play around that fact. They spot him, and even though the Rift Herald goes off and cues the blue team to make a dive bottom lane, red team knows it's coming, and the Galio roam. So I actually think Galio is the person that is like really MVP of this fight. Is his roam timing was perfect. I hope you feel better, Pikachu Pika. I really do. Oof, and another kill goes over. Oh, wrong guy. Yeah, the Galio is stomping him right now. Just in pressure and in terms of play. So let's see. W. Q. Wow! This is like the weirdest 5-head moment I've ever seen. This is like so bronze, it's challenger. Like, what happens here is the Tristana gets stunned, right? And then Veigar's going to W, Q, and ulti. And he kills a minion. He levels up. He says this is fine, thinking he's going to die. Galio walks into the stun. He walks into the stun. He literally walks into the stun. He eats the stun. I don't know if that's on purpose, but like, it's one of those moves where like, oh, you see it, obviously avoid it, but he moves, and now he's blocking Tristana's model. And so when he presses R, I don't know how you click Tristana in that actually, when he's going for this moment. I actually don't know how you would do that through Galio. Because right here, let's see. So he goes back in, and then the R doesn't get pressed until it's like he's walking up for the R range. The Tristana is now unstunned and is right there. I don't know how you click the Tristana here. Like, you gotta like point right on his, above him with the R. That's so ridiculous. That's actually ridiculous. I don't know if that was intentional or not. But regardless, that made it look like that made Veigar look like he was bronze, right? That made the Veigar look like he just clicked on the wrong guy. And he did. But remember when I talked about forced errors and unforced errors, if you guys have been in previous sessions? This is a great example of if you were in silver or gold and Veigar clicks the wrong person, it's probably an unforced error where nobody was forcing you to make that mistake. You just accidentally clicked on the wrong person. Here, Galio actually put in such a ridiculous, weird play that it was a forced error. So the Veigar clicked on the wrong person because the Galio actually put him in a position to do that, which is so strange. It's like he's not pressured or anything like that. It's just the covering of the bot. That's actually so ridiculous. That's actually ridiculous. I don't even know how much this guy plays Galio, but that's actually ridiculous. I think it was an accident, but the accident may have actually been like the best possible play in the world. Because the Tristana's stuck at that point. Shaco goes in, gets the kill. He's gonna... Ooh, whoa. So the fact that Misfortune gets a counter kill here is actually pretty big because they get the kill. He hits him once, twice. Oof. Okay, there it is. So this is what happens. So there's one of press the attack. 2, 3. So press the attack goes off right before the turret shot. and it's from all sources. So the turret's actually going to do more damage here than the Shaco thinks. Because the percentage increase from press the attack actually matters when you're getting hit for like 400, right? Oh, wait, no, oh, shoot! He didn't die! Oh, I went back too soon. He R'd. Oh, that was an easy clap. That was easy clap, dude. Oh, my God. So, wait, how much does this hit him for, actually? I want to check this. So, that hits him for 549. Oh, okay. He eats like 350 damage from the turret, and he doesn't get the kill though. Unfortunato. But that's still like that's the one trick at work. Oh my god, that's ridiculous. I was so hyped on the Galio play. I was hoping there was more blood, dude. I was hoping there was more blood, but there's not. How do I get notified right away when you guys go live? I think you have to subscribe in like the. I'm not sure. I think you click the bell or something. I'm not sure. I thought the cage would go down at that second, so I walked into it. Neeks, see, all right, I'm glad you told me that because I was like, I'm pretty sure it's a mistake, but that like, I'm pretty sure it was a mistake, but that was so bronze, it was challenger, right? Like that was like the play that nobody will ever think of, but it worked, right? It was like you walked into it by accident, and it ended up making the play good. Good. This is a great example of TPing for, you know, some minions or whatever. Like, when does he use his TP? Let me see. Okay. So his TP was used earlier, and the Mordekaiser's held on to his. And there's a ward back here that they'll spot. But they use Rift Herald here, so they're going to use Rift Herald to get this turret. But now the TP's come through. And now they're, like, scattering. And the Moby Boots Thresh comes in. Gets the Flay. Is that going to be a kill? Not quite. Not quite yet. R's him so he can't really do anything. Gets that kill. Gives that kill over. Okay, very close for the Thresh. The Thresh gave the kill over. When he maybe would have died if he had actually stayed or tried to keep it for longer. So the game is like, oh wait, leap, Q, dead. Okay, yeah, I'm like the game is like blue team overall, like blue team's comp like looks a little bit better, and they're getting some good plays. But the red team is actually just like individually playing better. Their top lane and their mid lane are ahead in CS, and their jungler is snowballing really hard. So the bottom lane is the difference here. So if I'm the jungler, if I'm Emp, I go play towards bottom lane. Should they have recalled instead of trying to get tower? Honestly, in that position, I think so. I think they should have got, but like, at least clear the ward behind or something. But I don't think they expected that play. But that's retrospect, because right there, you win a fight. The standard play is to Rift Herald and get the turret. So I actually don't blame them for doing that. I think it's perfectly fine to do that. It's a lot of gold. It's a lot of pressure. But if you don't want to die and delay the game and use the Rift Herald later, then yeah. If Ashe walked towards the box, Thresh would have died. I'm not going to go back much further. Oh, wow. Yeah, so, yeah. So Emp does the right play here. Emp does the right thing. Actually, both junglers actually do the, I would say, optimal play here. Shaco goes to the top side and gets the scuttle because he's got pressure. And then he goes mid to play off of him. He walks up for some greedy CS. That's when he goes in. Completely stealth, gets hit. Veigar probably should have backed up a little bit more after the Q. They kill him. And so the Shaco is playing to his winning lane of the mid lane. Doesn't really want to play the top because the Mord isn't there when he goes in. So there we go. So as I toggle vision back, the Lee Sin also does the right play because he goes bot side, which is his fed lane. And Veigar maybe thought like people were still here because they all three of these guys team up, and it kind of looks like they maybe go mid, but they instead go to the bottom side here. And Moby Boots, interesting. Okay, really good from the Lee Sin. Lee Sin gets that play off, and that's not one that would normally work. So they get the Ashe, and now it's no mid laner versus no support here, and the AD is pushed off. This is where you check inventories and go, okay, who has the advantage here? TP advantage for Kha'Zix. if Kha'Zix backs here and TPs, red should win the fight. Oh, wait. He's going to Dark Harvest this guy right now. He's going to try to Dark Harvest him. Shaco destroys this fight because he's got R. So, and Lee Sin doesn't. So he's going to R right here. Pretty sure that... Wait. Okay, whatever. So they have the real one hooked before, or I guess right after. So this is the real one. If they go after this guy, they auto lose. And then there's the there's the really great Tristana flank. So Galio gets the taunt. Tristana comes in. It's now 4-on-3, right? Because they've lost their Veigar. And they have no way to get this guy here, so it's 1, 2, 3 people, and then it's 4. And if they TP the Kha'Zix in, it's 5. So it's actually not a good idea to go for the dragon here as the blue team because you don't have TP. So there's 1 kill with the clone. He's not going to get this. There's 2 kills. And let's see, that's going to be 3 kills, right? Yeah, that's going to be 3 kills. So they actually lose all 3 people, and Kha'Zix didn't even have to TP. So it's a 4v3 at worst. So it's like it's 3-on-3. Oh yeah, no, because the Shaco, yes, it's just sorry. I'm counting the clone as another person because I actually think it's so ridiculous now. The clone is actually really powerful because even if you kill it, it instantly goes off, and the damage from it is pretty freaking good because it's 60% of his damage, so it's not even like I like the person who said 3.5 because that's probably more accurate because it's technically a 3-on-3. But it's kind of 3.5 because you have damage and you have soaking ability. So, but yeah, and the Kha'Zix didn't have to TP into that. So, and he's actually controlling. This is how you can tell he's a Shaco one trick. Watch what I actually think this is a little bit. So wait, you're really clever. You're really clever. Watch this. He got hooked, and what he does here is he moves that, and then like he kind of microed his clone around a bit. Is watch the clone. The clone is like decides to move over here, micros, adjusts his pathing, okay, and walks up here, and then oh yeah, okay. So no, he ultied, and then yeah, and then okay, cool. So yeah, he microed his clone a little bit there and was managing 2 things at once like a real StarCraft player. Just a little bit. It did path around the Galio a little strangely and give it more human behavior, but yeah. There's the TP being used for lane pressure. Okay. He TP'd back for... how much of an advantage is that? Okay. Yeah, it's decent. It's decent. I like the boot buy here. The Galio, really strong. The Veigar, gonna have to scale. There's the ultimate. Okay. Let's watch this again because this is like round 3, guys. Nice shield right before. Oh wait, he should have held that. Oof. Okay. Yeah, that was a little iffy. Yeah, little bit iffy. So the other thing here is as Mordekaiser, I see this mistake a lot. So he Qs him, right? And you'll see it here in a second. There it is. Okay. So yeah. So he Qs him really, really early the second time. He's got like all these stacks of Conqueror, right? He's got 8 stacks of Conqueror, and I think he doesn't expect them to fall off here. Because if he actually... Yeah, he's got 8 stacks of Conqueror. If he lands that Q, then he gets to keep them, and he probably wins the fight. So this Q missing is actually probably the doom or the death of the fight, because his Conqueror stacks fall off. Because he gets a lot right here, right? He got him before, and now he's only got 2. Yeah. Oof. And then that one misses, which means he doesn't get HP back, which doesn't really matter at that point because the Kha'Zix is getting so much from him. So it may have been closer than that if he had actually waited a bit. And maybe, just the Q missing and not going in with the stacks is a little rough. Okay, so Ash is dead. Okay, given a little bit back here. Let's see if he can. It doesn't matter if he lands the hook. The Galio's out. The Kha'Zix now has some top lane pressure. So they just have pressure in all the lanes now. So they can basically roam wherever they want. And now bot side is broken out. And remember when I was talking about Tristana? I actually think Tristana is such an easy champion to play in lower elos. Because what you do is this. You get the turret bottom. And you probably will because you have natural shove. And you also have turret taking ability. That you can just move around the map now. So you can put Tristana mid right now. And she will naturally wave clear, and then you could potentially get more out of it. And then you can even move her top side and just move her around the map like this big cannon that you need to point. And the person he has going after him is the clone. And he's gonna have the clone face check here. And yeah, okay. So yeah, just microing the clone around a little bit more. The Shaco's playing really, really well. I mean, he's a one-trick Shaco. You kind of expect that, but he's definitely good at this. He's like number 56 or 53 Shaco in North America, according to like. Not the site that I use Professor in like League of Graphs for that. I think it's much better for like analyzing skill and stuff than some of those other questionable ones. Yeah, he's gonna get both. His efficiency is just much higher too, and he's got Dark Harvest stacks. So we will see. We will see. Where does this lead to the roams? Because now Galio is mid babysitting, and he's gonna go. There we go. Okay, good. So Galio was babysitting mid because he's like, I don't want Veigar to just one-shot this Tristana. So now Galio's going bottom side. So they're 1-3-1-ing right now, which I think is the right play. And Shaco needs to hover around top and mid. Okay. Kick in. Q. Ooh. He tried to get it. I think his ulti just came off cooldown or something. No, right? All right, what happened here? Jumped in, got pulled back. Didn't ulti. Didn't know the Lee Sin was coming, though, so. Not a big deal. I think he would have ultied sooner for sure if he knew the Lee Sin was coming. So I think it's good for the Lee Sin to actually ward kick and give him less time to react. Because if he came around the corner here, I'm pretty sure any competent Kha'Zix player, instead of having the Lee Sin go from Dark Vision to here, from Fog of War to here, and walking around, would have R'd. So I feel like, yeah. I feel like that's a good play from Lee Sin. I love my Galio. Your Galio actually was smurfing, dude. If you saw what he did for the Tristana earlier, it was Pog, man. I actually still can't believe that happened. I still can't believe that happened. Me Trist? Oh, you're Trist? Did you see when the Veigar clicked on him instead of you because he put his body on top of you? It was actually ridiculous. He walked into the stun. Yeah, he walked into the stun to be right on top of you, but he didn't do it intentionally. You actually believe these people? No. But I don't care. If they say there's somebody in the game. That's the clone. Oh, nice flash. There's the taunt. Misfortune. Ooh. Okay, yeah. Make sure that it's gone. Ooh, into the stun. But he's still tanking the turret. Galio's a tonky boy. He'll get pulled back in. They should kill the turret. Okay, to kill the turret. Oh. Gets that kill. Ooh! Veigar is a very, very balanced champion. Oh, the Shaco boxes. Okay, he's dead. Ooh, the missed Q. Oh, the hook! Okay, that was really good. These fights, man. These fights, dude. I love them so much. Because the fights come down to really tiny things in like Diamond MMR. That's when like the micro starts to really matter. Because it's not just a numbers game at that point. So the fact they don't chunk the Shaco is pretty big. He does get a magic resist shield. They catch the Misfortune. Because does she have flash? She does have flash. That I think he doesn't. The Galio flashes way earlier though. Let's see. Yeah, he flashes way earlier. Does he think he's not going to get hit by it? Oof. That's where you flash. That's where you flash. Oof. You're not going to get a better time. Yeah. Flashes after. He's exhausted. That dies. He still lives, though, I believe. Yeah, he still lives, right? Yeah, he still lives. He still lives, but he doesn't get to ulti, which is the issue. Because he could have contributed an ulti. Even damaging the Galio here is probably better. Let's see. Okay, so there's the Shadow Realm. During this time, he puts down the box so that they can't dive and continue and kill these two. Instead, they all have to kill the turret. Camp this guy. He gets the solo kill anyway. I guess the assisted kill off of everything. The Shaco put a box down right on the Shaco did a good thing here. Is you see like the little blobs and stuff. The box is down here. He gets to play on top of it. Comes out right on a box for CC. So it's just a little extra stuff here where you force him to take some damage. He gets the shutdown. This Q, really, really nice. Takes the Q. Jumps R's the Ashe, but doesn't get the Tristana. He actually barely misses the Tristana. So Tristana jumped in. Kills the turret. And it's a really good play. It's a really good play from the Lee Sin. It's really good. In fact, I actually think... Oof. Was that too fancy? I mean, so if he gets the 3-person damage with Ashe going through and hitting all 3 of them, it's amazing, right? You see the pins lined up, you want to go for it. But I actually think if he just takes this Q and kicks Tristana, I think he kills her. Because he doesn't even get the damage off here, right? He doesn't make contact with Trist. So he doesn't do any damage to her. She's got 650 HP. Q2 probably would have done around... Yeah, it's anywhere from 210 to 440. So we'd say it'd do like maybe 200 or something like that. And the kick would have done a little bit less than that. It done 300. Depend on her resist. Okay, so she's got 35% reduced. So it would have done about, I would say, 35 that. So that's going to do 200. That's going to do... So he would maybe barely miss out on killing her. Yeah, because he kicks the Ashe, who has similar armor. Let's see. So Ashe has 814, similar armor values. 816, 608. So it does 208 damage to Ashe. So probably wouldn't have killed. Unless he added the E on. So he would have had to take the Q onto Trist, kick Flasher into the team. Yeah. I mean, if he had hit you with it, you probably die because he gets the E off and he gets all that extra damage and stuff. But he also has flash available. So if he had just kick flashed you, then oof. But he goes for the Ash, he goes for the 3, which is like that's the smash the fight play, and the other one is like ugh. By a second, it's like a fraction of a second, to be honest. He barely misses him. I think this works. Let's see. Would this work if he... Yeah, because he does a midair cancel. Yeah. Ugh. That just sucks for him. Yeah, that at that point you have to I mean, Tristana has R like available, I think. Yeah, so she can like buffer R on him if she wants. But here it's like you should take Q, flash R basically. Or R flash. Take Q, cancel your with the W and then R flash, yeah. But yeah, it's oh, it's so close. Then he puts down this little event horizon. Even though he gets the auto off, he gets stunned. He gets flayed into the box, into this. He presses R on him, so actually Vhagar wastes an ultimate, I think. But he's not going to be able to really do much with it otherwise. Just super small things. Like, if any of these things go differently at this point, you do not project where they would be by the time he jumped. But, I mean, it was super close. It was super close. They never went on you the entire time. I mean, you're Shaco, and they just, even though you don't have flash, they just, I think your boxes and your setup is pretty good in most of these fights. Like, you're doing a really good job. Also, you're, like, pretty difficult to go on. You're slippery. Oof. Okay, so yeah, there's the kill. Then they're able to get Ash, because Ash walked into the box. He's going to get the walk up. Nice flay into the E, into the kill. The missed Q. So even if he had held Q instead, it would have been better. But he went for the Q to get some poke damage. And then the hook onto the Tristana as she comes in. Really good. Does he... Nice hook. Okay, even gets him through the shield. So the Lee Sin flashed to shield, hoping that he would save the Thresh. And he doesn't quite save the Thresh. Because there's a lot of damage coming in. This is like Dark Harvest and all that. And the explosion. Oof, okay. Oh, man. If Lee Sin had, like, his Qs ready at that point, I think he was so close to having it again. That the Trist actually gets to live in this fight, when if she had actually died at any point, it would have been very, very different. Yeah, and then he gets to jump out. Ugh, before the Q is back up. That's super rough, dude. That's a fight. That's a fight there where I feel like blue team has all the tools to win it, even though they're behind. And it's just the execution gets fumbled a bit. Okay, wait. It's stuttering a lot now. It's stuttering a lot. The game doesn't know what to do. I've backed too many times. I've backed too many times. It's like, come on. Can we get some fluidity here again? What's up with this FPS? Why do I have 30 FPS? Hello? Hello? Is something going on in the background? Hold on. Let me check this. What is going on here? Okay. Hello? Uh-huh. Okay. Let's... It shouldn't be like this, but okay. Well, not taking up much. My frames are fine. It's just this game is okay. Is this because the game... Oh. Dude, we've encountered so many bugs today. Here, let's... What happens if I do this? What happens if I go very low on this? Will it up my FPS a lot? My computer just dying? Is that what's going on here? No, it's the replay. Okay. It's the replay itself. Even if I lower the quality, it's still like this ridiculous... Ugh. That's frustrating. That's frustrating. Yeah, download more RAM. No, I don't think it has anything to do with the RAM because I think it's the replay. The replay feels bad. Like, I can do anything else, and I looked at my CPU usage, and it's not even high. I think the replay is weird. I think it happens when the game is over, right? It happens when the game is over. When the game is over and it's been like processing for a long time, it sometimes does this. Okay, well, let's see what happens if I speed it up. Okay, looks like garbage. Well, really? Match histories are bugged. So I don't think I could even see this if I wanted to. Hold on. Set the mode to full screen. After that, back to borderless. Let's see. Okay, it's in full screen. And go back to borderless now. No. Yep. It's not that important. It's not that important. Excuse me? I'd like to see what I'm looking at. Okay. Well, I'm gonna peek really quickly at something. Let's see. One moment. Okay. Can we at least... This is so weird. We've had so many bugs in this replay. Actually, so many bugs. I mean, I guess that's kind of what happens with all this stuff at some point. Okay. Game. Calm down. It's actually just dying on me. The client is just dying on me right now. Let's see. Hold on one second. I'm waiting for something. I'm waiting for it to load. Give me 1 second. The game is dying right now. But anyway, in the meantime, I'll answer some questions that you guys have. If you guys have questions. I think my mic might be going a little bit over. Okay, there we go. Okay, that should probably be better. Okay. Something about internet traffic causing high latency. It's just the replay, I think, is pass game. Is Lee worth playing below diamond? Yeah, you can play it. Opinions on Yumi, very strong. I think she's like really, really strong. Probably a little too strong, to be honest. And you could count NA playing on 200 MS just to join the gang. Oh, I don't know when I'll play on EU NE again. Potentially next week. So let's see. What is going on here? What is going on? Can I just stop the game? Can it just stop? It's like trying to load the entire game right now. And it's like dying. It's actually dying. Like, hold on. I'm going to show you guys what's going on right now. If I can even get out of this. Here, I'll show you guys what's going on right now. This is what's going on right now. It looks like this. Those are literally arrows coming out of nowhere. Look at the mini map. The mini map is all the pings at once. The game is like loading all the actions at the same time. And this is... Oh my god. Why is focusing on CS is misleading concept? I would say being able to CS and CS well is good, but I think the misleading concept is not helping your team because it helps you basically. So if there's something else going on, CS is lower priority. This is a treat. You guys, here, I'll let you guys hear it as well. Here, you can hear this lovely game. I'm not even pressing anything. Are you serious? Oh, this was such a good game too. This looked like such a good game. This is actually becoming a really good game. Can I even press anything? Okay, I can press something. Like, can I pause? Press P? No, it won't let me pause. It doesn't want me to pause. My mouse is now just like... The League of Legends is now murdering my computer. Yeah, I don't understand what this is. Well. Okay. Go into full screen. I did that. I went to full screen, and then I stopped. And I went to... 20 FPS. We're getting a little better. Maybe I have to go to this bottom right corner to get some FPS back. But yeah. So no. I did the whole full screen into... Like, I know a lot of the little tricks to like make stuff work, but this one is like... This is like a no. This is like a hard no. This is a hard no from me. I'm done fiddling with it for now. I Alt F4'd out. My computer's taking a break now from all of that. Okay, there's no way I can get this replay, I think. Let me... It was such a good game too, unfortunately. Yeah, there's no Is there no match history for it? Oh, there's no match history for it because it's a custom. And they don't really store those to my knowledge. Unlucky. Yeah. It doesn't show on other... Yeah, is the Shaco? Yeah. If you guys want to see the ending score, unfortunately, like this is like a drag of a way to end things, but blue team did end up losing. The Veigar didn't really do much damage in this game, even though he's against a Galio. I think he was trying to take care of himself a lot and didn't really get items. So he was behind in CS the entire game, behind in pressure. 15 deaths, definitely becomes a bit of a buffet. Unfortunately. Shaco did a really good job of carrying and even had a... See, this is the thing. If you're a good enough player and you have a support Ashe with Aftershock, it doesn't matter. Actually, every game is winnable, even regardless of comp, because sometimes you can have people who are off roll. Sometimes you can have people who don't like carry their weight on a team. And the support Ashe, like even though he's up against this Thresh who was playing out of his mind and with like hooks and flays, like played really really well. And I know he's a fill player. You can still win. So like even like you're like the Ashe was useless. Not gonna lie. I mean the Ashe bought Mikhail's for you. He bought Mikhail's to potentially get you out of things, and he bought Executioner's Calling for the Mordekaiser. So he's like he recognized, he's like, I'm the grievous wounds on our team, and that we lose if somebody eats a hook and I can Mikhail's them or a stun. So he did some things in this game that I think are good when you're behind. He sold his items at the very end to get Warmogs or no? Oh boy. Well, regardless, if he was using things like that in the game, then that's really good to actually have things like Executioners. But yeah. How about mobility between champions? Should I take Q second on Sejuani for that reason? No, you should take W second on Sejuani. It's EW. E is like too good much. W is too much of your clear. To get most of this. You had Essence Reaver? I was utility. Wait, so who lost? The blue team lost. The team that was behind ended up losing. But it looked like it was a really long game. It went on 38 minutes from there. So I'm really like kind of pleased with the way the early game went from you guys. So let's see. Is it showing? Yeah, it's showing. Okay. Well, anyway, unfortunately, that's a bit of a bummer way because it was a really good game to watch. But that's going to basically, we're going to conclude today's lesson. We're going to stop the stream in just a bit here. But like, thank you guys for playing. Thank you guys for watching. We're going to be doing another session Monday. It's going to have more of a theme, and it's going to be a lesson actually structured as opposed to, just the games right off the bat. It'll be at 10:30 a.m. Pacific time. That is 1:30 p.m. Eastern. And so it'll be a little more structured. This was mostly about roaming without some clear examples. I might revisit this on Monday just to rehash the topic and talk more about roaming and use actual examples, because our platinum game didn't really show it too much because that was just lane stomping. And this game really didn't show it too much either. I think that the Galio did a really good job, and the Galio did a really good job in this game of roaming, and the Kha'Zix had a really good moment where he roamed. And those are the two people who, are on the team that's winning now when they weren't necessarily winning their lane at the time. So I like that the Kha'Zix roamed and got out of lane, and especially since he doesn't seem to typically be a top lane player, and he was in a bad matchup for him. He died, and then he went and roamed, and I thought that was really good. And he lost very little to do that too. So I think the Kha'Zix actually played really well despite the situation. So yeah, this game was so good. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys tune in again next week, Monday at 10:30 a.m. Pacific. Please, if you haven't already, subscribe. And, I think you have to click the bell to get notified. I don't know if there's a way to get notified exactly when we go live, but it is 10:30 a.m. Pacific time. So if you guys want to know more about roaming, and we're going to revisit that topic with better examples, then please go ahead. We like to have a lot of fun here. I go off topic all the time and talk about random things because I'm here to serve you guys and I answer your questions and stuff. So it's not always going to be that structured class. We're going to have a lot of, I'll be basically interacting with you guys as much as possible. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a good weekend, and I'll see you on Monday at 10:30 a.m. Pacific.